the voiceless. People get killed for other stupid choices. Standing up for the families that took a loss is something that we find important. Rap game strong, chest up. Little homie, keep your head up. You can be whatever you want. Get rid of the fake and it will lead up. All my life I strive for greatness. I manifested my time with patience. People try to copy us, but respect is earned. It's not an obligation. I love the fam and they love me back, and that's why I always have the backs. I give a voice to those people.
What is going on? Happy Friday, everybody. Shout out to everybody that's here right now. True Crime Time with T-REV is coming back. We're back on it. We're talking, where we talk about all cases, but we do know some new documents have came out. And there's some sealed shit inside of those documents that, I'm thinking in my head. I know there's something sealed in there. What could it be sealed? You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody in chat. Azarbella, Cali Thunder in the building. Susie in the building. I see you. Mom to 5 Kings. Shout out to you. Hello, everyone. Smash the like button. I appreciate you. What is true? What's going on? West End. Shout out to you. I see you. Mar. Who else we got in here? Julie. Welcome. Everybody coming in. Tree Baby Tennessee. Shout out to you. I see you. Like I said, though, what is in those documents, right? What could possibly be in the documents? So that's what I want to know, because I was just looking at the files now, right? Let me pull this up again and look at it. There's something sealed inside of these documents. What, a second motion to compel shall be filed under seal. See, like everything is sealed. There's something in here that we are not being told when it comes to that. Hello, T-REV. What up? I'm not T-Pain. I'm not T-Pain. You're not singing today? What's going on? Make sure you guys smash the like button as you come in. We're going to cover some topics, watch some videos, and take some phone calls and talk to you guys. So let's lock in, right? Let's lock in. Excuse me. I think I'm catching a cold or something, right? I got to be. But let's check it out. This is the first video I want to check out before, as we dive in. Let me fix this real quick, because for some reason it's got my header messed up. Show display or show headlines? No, I don't want to show headlines. Thank you, CKI. I appreciate you. But the thing is, I really want to. I don't know. I may even open up the panel at some point and bring some people up, because these sealed documents, like I put and vote as you come in, because I'm curious. Why do you think? That's why I put. Why do you think the files are sealed in the grand jury indictment in the Idaho 4 case? Why? Is it because they're protecting a witness? Is there bombshell evidence? Or is it just something else? Right? I want to see, put in chat what you think it is. I'm going to read it out real quick. I'm curious to what you guys think is sealed in there. What do you guys think is sealed in there? I've seen a lot of, I've been surfing some lives and checking out people's opinions, and I see opinions are everywhere right now as far as the Idaho case and what's going on. Like, opinions are all over the place. People are saying they think there's more to the story and that there was more people involved, and Koberger was the cover-up fall guy. Some people think it's him. Some people, you know what I mean? I see that it's all over the place as far as YouTube platform. If you go over and look at some MSM comments, it's a whole different story. But hey, T-REV, I finally caught alive. You are awesome, sweetheart. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate you. Thank you. What up, Bullish in Seattle? You know what I mean? It was taking my head off in that chat last night, man. I finally, defend myself in the chat, and I got smacked up. But it is what it is. We on my shit now. Love your video you launched this morning. Thank you, Never Fear Truth. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me read some of these comments now that are coming. Okay, Bethany's exculpatory evidence. Mystical Bandit says. Sussan Gardner says planted evidence to protect the school. Now, that's a good take. I like that. I think that's a good take, to protect the school. I think sealed for witness and critical evidence. That's what I was thinking in my head. I'm thinking, well, the second part, witness. I think they're protecting a witness. What else would it be? I mean, that's what they do. Your obligation is to protect witnesses. What's up, Sal? Papa Sal, I'm here, Shout out to everybody coming in. I love the family. Papa Sal, love you, pal. What's going on? Are there more than one way to address a witness or any other person within the trial who gives oral testimony on the stand? Is this called direct, redirect, cross, recross? Well, you like cross-examination or what? What you mean? What you talk? I was painting my house and listening. I had to stop and comment a couple of times. It's like, I seen you there, man. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. I just can't figure it out, says Terry. Me neither. I think about it and I'm like, I can't figure it out myself. I can't figure it out myself. It has to be a witness, not the house, because not school owned. School owned now. They gave it away. From what I know, they gave it to the school. They gave it to the school. What's up, Lupo, Nina? Welcome. I appreciate you guys coming in. Make sure you come in and get locked in. Like I said, we're going to watch a little bit of videos. We're going to take phone calls. I may even bring somebody up. I have no idea. I'm feeling great this morning besides a sore throat from the smoke from Canada. We got smoke from Canada over here. Maldy Mama. What's going on, Maldy Mama? You sending smoke from Canada over here? They said it's like equivalent to breathing in, what was it, like 40 cigarettes? If for 5 minutes, if you're outside for 5 minutes, it's equivalent to breathing in 40 cigarettes. That's what they said. I wonder why they haven't released the 911 call. That might be it too, because it hasn't been a trial yet. Why would they? If we think about it, why would they release a 911 call that has information about the case inside? I walked in and I seen, you know what I mean? There's no telling what they said that they seen on that phone, on that 911 phone call. There could be gruesome details about the murders in there. There could very well be gruesome information inside of that 911 call, and that's the reason why they're not releasing it to the public. Now, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm speculating when it comes to that, but why else would they hold that 911 call back? If somebody just picked up the phone and said 911, I think my friend passed out on the floor, they'd probably put that 911 call out. I mean, that's just the logic I think with. But they're not going to put that 911 call out if they go, oh my God, my friend is on the floor and this, that, and I seen this and there's blood everywhere. And it could be details inside of that phone call. You know what I'm saying? There could be crucial details with a 911 phone call. What up, Deputy Dude? Welcome. What's going on? Shout out to you this morning. Good morning to you. This case is bizarre. Definitely. And we'll get to Richard Allen too. I want to talk about Richard Allen because Richard Allen confessing on a phone call, and people are still going around thinking that he's, he did that under duress. I don't know. I think he did that because he was going to off himself and he wanted to, you know what I mean? He was saying that to his wife and then he changed his mind. But hey, I mean, I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. Owner donated it. Yeah, he definitely donated the house to the school. That's for sure. Not when crime happened. Absolutely. I get that part, but they have it now. The police messed up and lost evidence until years later, says Lindsay. What are we talking about? Years later? Smoke is messing you up. Oh my God. That's what they told me. They said it's like breathing in 40 cigarettes if you stand outside for 5 minutes. Damn, that's a lot of smoke. Why? I wonder why I'm sick today. Who knows? The forest fires can be brutal here, and we see this during the summer, says Samantha Berry. They are not going to release that 911 call. Now, I don't think we're going to hear it till they're in the courtroom. I don't think we're going to hear it till they're in the courtroom with trial or during the trial. I don't think we're going to, and we may not even hear it then. I don't know. I mean, don't they usually play a 911 call at trial? I've seen it. I've seen it in a few trials. What's going on, Aaron? Aaron, welcome. Appreciate you coming by. Shout out to Aaron, Bridget in the building. Giovanna, what's going on? We smoke in the air. You said we smoke in the air, Montreal also. Oh, you got smoke in the air also? I got you. Yes, gruesome details. 911 call holds gruesome details. I believe that. I think it does. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate you. Let's start up this video and then let's get to talking.
It never ends.
I want to watch this because it just dropped. Nancy just dropped this. It says Brian Kohlberger's defense points to other you know, and we know about the DNA that they pointed out, etc. But I want to hear what Nancy has to say real quick.
With quadruple murder suspect Brian Koberger does it. Never ends. In the last days, his
Thank you,
attorneys
never
are
fear truth. I
challenging
appreciate you.
DNA evidence produced by the state, claiming that
I appreciate you too, Alice.
DNA from 3 other men were found at the crime scene. We understand that there's DNA from 2 males, not Koberger, inside the home on King Road, and DNA evidence,
Me too.
male DNA found on a glove found outside the home. I recall seeing a practically frozen mitten in the snow outside the home. I don't think that that had anything to do with the murders themselves. But this is going to be an attack.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. That frozen mitten that was found out in the snow, I think Nancy's right about that. I don't think it has anything to do with the murders whatsoever. I don't think it came from a suspect. Let's be real now. Do we think there's going to be I mean, I don't know. Yes, you got to collect everything that's there, right? But let's be real.
Attack on the state's case.
Fires in
And
Canada.
it will probably turn into
just
an
dropped.
attack on the victims themselves. Joining me right now, Chris McDonough, star of The Interview Room on YouTube, also director at Cold Case Foundation. You can find him at coldcasefoundation.org. But for today, his relevance is because he has investigated over 300 homicide cases. We have the attack on the state's DNA evidence. We have other attacks ongoing, claiming that the police, LA law enforcement, had tunnel vision on Koberger, thereby shutting out investigation of any other potential suspect. And we also have now rising to the forefront a prior criminal arrest by Koberger. Up until now, we have been told that he...
Yeah, but Nancy, that prior arrest was for stealing his sister's phone. I mean, that prior arrest really don't mean much to me. I still look at him as he really didn't get in trouble. He was battling with drug addiction. I mean, when you're battling, and I'm not trying to take up for drug addicts, but in general, if you're addicted to drugs and you don't have an outlet, you'll do whatever you need to do to get your drugs, right? If you've been through drug addiction, I've been through drug addiction, so I'm never scared to admit that I've been through drug addiction. People who are going through drug addiction will do things, you know, will steal and do all types of shit. Let's just put it that way. They'll do all types of shit.
He was lily white, pure as a nun. But now we're learning that's not entirely true. You know what? Before we hit the DNA attack, let me go to Chris McDonough joining me.
What is true?
Chris, the reality is that he is not the saint the defense has painted him out to be. What do you make of his prior arrest?
Well, Nancy, I mean, thank you for having me.
Nancy loves having Chris McDonough up there. Now, somebody put me on to something with Chris McDonough being involved. Like, somebody just hit me up out of nowhere with an email and was like, Chris McDonough was part of this case, and I forget exactly what it was because it was months ago, but it was some type of case where he was involved, and I think it was like something, I don't even want to mention it, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, there's some type of controversy surrounding Chris McDonough. And if you know what I'm talking about, please remind me, because it's in my head, but I don't want to speak. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't want to put the wrong thing on him. But they're saying that he was involved in a case like 15, 20, maybe even longer than that before he became on YouTube, or before he came to YouTube.
I'm so grateful.
Oh yeah, I think Mar also told me about it also. That's why she said yes.
You know, it just goes into what we've been talking about as we've discussed Brian Koberger. We're going to start seeing information that will provide itself into the public arena
about Harris,
his previous behaviors and his previous interests. And obviously now that this has come forward, you know, we had the image initially of this young
He always
man,
is.
who was struggling through school, wanted to become a police cadet. Yet now this arrest, surfaces, and you start thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute, maybe he wasn't as pristine as the defense has, been presenting through the motions. I think it's fascinating that the defense has gone on, the offense here.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Cindy Chambers says. She said they are trying to steer us away from the actual facts and evidence in this case. They have to create doubt, and you're right about that. They have to create doubt, and if they're not doing that, then they're not doing their job. Let's just put it that way. I mean, that goes specifically in hand with how AJ Armstrong's lawyers have got him 3 mistrials already, to where he's being tried for the third time for murdering his parents. So I'm just saying, a good defense attorney can get some shit going.
By utilizing verbiage
such as,
welcome. These reports that contain exculpatory information. I mean, you as a trial attorney, a very successful prosecutor, what sticks out to you? I mean, when we start seeing this type of stuff, present itself.
Shout out to you.
Are you talking about the prior arrest, or are you talking about the DNA challenge?
Both.
Well, with the DNA challenge, I would expect it. I mean, now that we know other male DNA is at the scene, of course they're going to challenge it. But what matters to me in that vein is, where was the DNA found? Was it found on one of the murder victims? If that, it's highly incriminating toward that other male. Or was it found on the coffee pot downstairs? Was it found on the door handle? Was it found on a light switch? That means nothing, as opposed to Kohberger's DNA found on the sheath of the murder weapon in the bed with Maddie Mogan. That's damning. So that's one thing. The other DNA attack is on the process of how the DNA comparison was made. Number one, there's nothing at all out of order with the DNA testing. It was done pursuant to lab.
Also make sure you vote as you come in. I will be opening up phone lines also, maybe even bringing up an open panel, bringing some people up to talk, maybe 2 at a time at most, if I do. Now, why do you, I put in here now, if you just got here, make sure you hit the vote. Make sure you vote. Why do you think files are sealed in the grand jury indictment in the Idaho 4 case? Bombshell evidence in protecting a witness are both at 41% right now. Something else, 18%. But I really think protecting a witness. I think that protecting a witness, but bombshell evidence could be that too. But I think protecting a witness is, priority by the state. If you think about it, they always protect the witness. I mean, you got to protect the witness. You can't put that out there like that, even though we kind of know who it is.
Regimen.
Cave diver.
So that challenge is going to fail.
So too, man.
The defense is also challenging the state trying to keep Kohberger's family tree private, so members of his family are not pilloried by the press and others. But there are 2 DNA matches in this case. Number one, when Kohberger was followed all the way from WSU,
protecting a witness, right?
PhD student, home for Thanksgiving with his family in Poconos. The police watched the home. They obtained abandoned DNA at that time. That abandoned DNA was from Kohberger's father. It was matched to the DNA at the crime scene on the knife sheath. And that DNA match proved, with a huge statistical number, that the donor of the DNA on the murder weapon knife sheath had to be the biological son of Brian Kohberger's father.
Right.
Had to be. And Kohberger's father only had one biological son. So you've got that DNA match. Then they take the DNA, now that they figured out it's him, and they build a genealogical tree. And they now trace the DNA on the sheath directly to Koberger.
So people, okay, I'm not T-Pain says Chris admitted he was wrong for arresting the wrong guy, but was following orders to arrest him. People hold that against him. Okay. So I mean, yeah, 'cause people sent me things of like Chris arrested this or did this to an innocent person, and I remember that being people sending me stuff on it.
From a buccal swab.
Protect
DNA taken from his
witness,
saliva from his mouth. So what I'm saying is there's 2 DNA tests damning him. They're not going to win
Love you,
on the
Matthew.
DNA challenge. I'm very, very curious about this prior arrest. Now, we know the prior arrest
He also
was back in 2014 for stealing his
That's
sister's
true.
cell phone. And it was Koberger's own father, Michael Koberger, that turned him in. He called police and said that Brian Koberger had been struggling with drugs, we believe heroin. He had a drug addiction.
Good question.
He had just gotten out of rehab and rejoined the family. And one of the first things he did when he got back in with the family is steal his sister's phone.
We check.
Now,
Right.
according to documents, he paid a friend $20 to take him to a mall where he sells his sister's iPhone worth $400 for $200. What? For more drugs? For what? Why was he stealing a phone and selling it behind his parents' back, stealing from his sister? He's arrested. He's charged with theft, and he took advantage of a first offender program. And I've granted it myself to first offenders, where if you complete your probation or a court.
Oh, okay. I see. I seen June posted in Discord. Koberger had a bandage on the back of his left hand and wrist yesterday, or at the hearing, his last hearing. People are talking about the bandage on his left hand.
Course or your community service hours, and it's your first offense and it's a misdemeanor, it can be, quote, expunged, erased. And that's what he did. And that is why it wasn't found originally.
Like movie made about it.
And everyone thought he had no criminal history. Well, he does. Not just a criminal history, but a history deriving out of a drug habit and preying on his own family. That's what we know right now. And I want to find out from you, a veteran homicide detective, what that means to you.
Well, it's interesting that the sister, when he was first arrested, they had the impression just before the arrest for the homicide here that one of the sisters thought, well, he did it. And, there was a question within the family, and she goes out to check the car, remember? And so this is probably one of the incidences where if somebody has a drug addiction problem, we used to call it chasing the needle, remember? Where if they're, injecting heroin, every 4 to 6 hours, they're going to need that drug. And so they go to any length possible. In this case, obviously, he steals his sister's cell phone, sells it for half price, and it's probably to support that addiction process or problem that he has.
Yeah, he did.
Now, if we move that forward, that pre-incident behavior tells us that he is capable of criminal behavior.
It's addict behavior, yeah, exactly.
To a point where he will take it within the sanctuary of.
All right, so also like right now, I'm about to open this up. Right, I'm gonna let you guys call in while we're playing this because they're talking about stuff we really checked out. But I want to hear from you guys specifically, and I'm edging it out to 5 minutes. 5 minutes. If you want to call in 219-885-9693 while I'm playing, go ahead.
Family. And so as this case starts to unfold even further,
who the hell is Chris?
It won't surprise me, and I'm sure it won't surprise you, if other incidences, start to surface where
that's a good question.
Prosecution may already have those interviews down somewhere, and that's going to tell us, about the other side of him. the secret life of Brian Koberger.
There we go.
I think we're going to see incidents where people
Not
are going
only
to say,
says
mostly
before
women,
before there was
are
Brentwood,
going to come
414,
forward and say,
14,
look, you know, this
look
guy
into it,
was
Erie.
creepy at this party. He weirded me out, you know, et cetera,
Well,
et
check
cetera,
that out.
where
Thank you.
he became possessive of women even prior to,
That's interesting.
you know, if he is our guy, which it sounds like the DNA is telling us it is. There's a whole bunch more behavior that's going to come forward that is going to be not connected to drugs and not connected to that addiction,
many people
but more about maybe a sexual side of his
to
personality.
reach to say it's
More intrinsic to Koberger himself.
Yeah, I agree with
not
that.
necessarily
I definitely agree with that.
but about his personality.
What's up, Aaron?
Another thing regarding that, Chris
Thank
McDonough,
you.
is that
Thank
most of
you.
this
I
evidence,
appreciate
if not all of it, will never come in front of a
I really
jury.
want to know if BK is being honest with me.
Yeah, and this is why I think it's fascinating that the defense is utilizing motions to start planning a narrative to the public. And this is
Okay,
why
what do you mean by that?
I think, well, you know, the gag order is in place for the court.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And so now we get two new attorneys involved who, you know, rightfully so, as part of the death penalty team for the defense. We get two new attorneys involved, and immediately they start writing, you know, motions
That is a
about
fact.
the DNA evidence. And it's, you know, it's crafted
Glad to have you, Beth.
very, very well, you know, by lawyers who are DNA experts, both of them. But what it's doing is it's creating a narrative within the public. So, you know, that's kind of getting around the gag order that the court has. They're utilizing the public records to create a narrative, which I think is fascinating. It's you know, actually pretty smart.
Just thinking through everything you're saying.
What's up, Lollipops? Welcome.
Through the fact that he stole from his sister.
Off-campus
He
student
had a
housing with a
friend
knife.
involved giving him a ride.
Send me a link on it too,
And
Naomi.
his father turned him in.
Send me a link on that one too.
I'm thinking about that dynamic and that family dynamic and how that's playing into what we know right now. The jury most likely will never hear that. This comes on the heels of an announcement by the state that they will seek the death penalty.
We know that.
That gives heightened scrutiny to everything that the state does. You know, I'm thinking about that DNA evidence, Chris McDonough. Where it was found is so critical. For instance, if it was found on the glove that you alerted police about, you said, hey, there's a glove out here, come get it. That may be by a stranger cutting through the yard. That doesn't mean anything. But if DNA is found inside one of the victim's rooms or on the bed sheets or on the victim themselves, that would be damning, but we don't know where this other DNA came from, the other two male DNAs.
Yeah, so this is, it's the elephant in the living room for
Stream murder? Far there.
Because, I mean, this is a huge piece of evidence with that DNA on the snap of that knife sheath. You know, the other DNA, I think, you know, to your point, Nancy, can be explained very easily. I mean, we have the, you know, body camera of the officers responding to the, you know, the parties at the house, the narrative that potentially these girls, you know, were social butterflies. That doesn't make them, you know, bad individuals, right? I mean, it's college.
Doc Terry, what's up?
And they, you know, this was a house that there were very attractive, you know, girls there, and these young men would come over and visit, and they would, you know, sometimes even leave the house and let the house.
Yeah, but that's a good point, Bullish. That's a good point. How do we know they haven't, though? You know, how do we know they haven't? That's a good. You like the fact that people press that because it does need to be known who those people were. Now, I guess maybe we have to wait. They already have. 360 is going on. You're live.
Hi, Gabriel. I have just got a couple of things. I'm just fired up this morning. I was snooping around on another creator's page, and they were going on about choking on pancakes and that about Brian Kober's DNA and all this other stuff. And they're talking about how Brian Koberger it's okay for him to wear a suit and tie. But you know what? Richard Allen, which I believe is guilty too, has to come in all shackled up, and looking like death. But yet he can walk in a courtroom and wear a suit and tie, and even though we all think he's guilty, but so I just basically told them, you know what, you're going to be choking on a pancake too when all the truth comes out.
Yeah, that is a good point though about what Richard Allen, and then you got Koberger walking in. Now, is it because Koberger's family somehow got him a suit, or is it because his supporters, or what is it?
I don't know. I understand, he's dangerous, but so is Brian Koberger.
Absolutely.
He gets to, and it bothers me that even with all the facts, with the DNA, these people are still like trying to say, oh, he's innocent, and as far as all the other DNA, that can be just even the people that live there, the victims.
It was planted.
So, yeah, they're all saying it's planted, and it just never ends. I'm just so sick of it. And I'm sure, after my little comment, I haven't gone back in there, but I'm sure they're all tearing me apart for that comment. But I'm like, you know what? I have a voice too, and I have a right to my own opinion.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, Richard, I don't know what it is with Richard Allen. Every time we see him, he is coming in and straight. But it could be the laws in Indiana.
Yeah, that's true. But
you know what I mean? Two separate states.
Yeah, somebody else I saw. I can't remember what. It was not on one. There's some other place I saw that too. That somebody's pointing it out that Richard Allen has to come in there all shackled, and I guess even that thing around his neck is like a shock collar. So if he gets out of control, they can shock him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard too. So these two cases have really bothered me. I've been watching them from the beginning. So
yeah, same. Same with Delphi. I was actually baffled that when they got somebody else, it was like unreal because it was 6 years, damn near 6 years later.
I just think they missed a lot of things, with that Delphi case, and there's so many people that could have been involved, and maybe there still is somebody else that's also involved in that. Who knows? Keegan's kind of creepy.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
so
to that shit.
The Anthony Shots thing really bothers me. That really bothers me. I'm gonna ever find out if there's any more people involved in that or not. But at least they got the right guy that actually did it. And he's confessed. I don't think Brian Koberger is gonna confess.
You think so?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think? Yeah, no. I mean, come on.
I don't think he'll confess.
He wouldn't even say
he's too arrogant.
He wouldn't even say not guilty.
No, he's just he's just a chicken shit, and I think they got the right guy, and when all these people that are saying, about choking on pancakes, they're gonna be choking on pancakes when it actually comes out. I think there's so much more to that 911 call, and there's a possibility you might have even found the weapon itself. Who knows?
I don't know why people I guess they just want to make it a game. Like it's not. People.
That's what it is. It's a sick game.
People think you just want to put shit out and make people be guilty. Just choose somebody from here. Let me throw a bunch of names in the hat. Whatever one I pull out is I'm nailing guilty. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like there's evidence against this dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. And, even if it comes out, even if he says I'm guilty, and admits it, these people are still going to say, oh, he was forced into it. He was forced into saying, oh, I'm guilty.
Crazy shit.
It's crazy, but that's all I wanted to say because I was pretty fired up when I saw that. But I just wanted to speak my opinion on it.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. God bless you.
Oh,
thank you for having
I appreciate it too, and
you know what I mean. A lot of people
appreciate you because you let us all call in and state our opinions, and it's great.
I'm glad you did call up and share your thoughts on that because I mean it's. People are trying to be, and I get the questioning things. You always question shit, right?
Yeah, we're going to speculate. I mean, a little bit, but at least keep it like where it's where it's give speculation, where it's not these far out. You know, the police touch the freaking bag of food and transfer it to the knife sheaths and all this other crazy stuff.
It's wild.
Sorry,
If
I
we
believe
got-
it. You know.
What people don't understand, I want to say this before you get off, is that like there's evidence that would put any one of us in that courtroom. So
Yeah,
you know,
if that was you and me, we'd be like, we wouldn't be getting all these high-priced lawyers and trying to save our lives.
well, I mean, the lawyers that he have are friggin' public pretenders.
Yeah,
Most of them.
I mean, I live in Washington. I live in Washington State, and we don't have that here.
Interesting.
I mean, the defense lawyers here are a joke.
So, how far are you from WSU?
I live on a little island. I'm a little ways. I live on an island on kind of more Snohomish County. I live on Whidbey Island.
Okay, I got you.
So that's where I'm at.
I appreciate you calling.
But I know people that have people I know here that have kids that go to the University of Idaho and they go to the WSU.
Well,
So
thank you for calling, and I appreciate you.
you're welcome, T-REV. And also one last thing before you go, I watched your video. It was awesome. You're really talented.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
God bless you, man. Lock your door. Stay safe. Happy Friday. And if
Always.
you think of anything else, call back.
You too, T-REV.
Bye-bye. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. 219-885-9693. Call in. What's up?
You know, party itself. And so death.
870. What's going on?
What up, T-REV? It's your boy, Boss Macca, man.
What's going on, boss? What's the word?
Not much. Yeah, just like she said, I love the new video, love the new song. I
Appreciate
shared
you, brother.
Listen to it, like it.
I seen you on there. The comment.
Already. I know you see everything. You be on it, homie.
Appreciate you, brother.
See, I don't know if you know this or if you remember this, but I'm from Spokane, right?
Okay.
And Spokane is kind of like right above and in the middle of Pullman and Moscow. I'm highly familiar with that area. I live in Arkansas now because of that area and what it's turned into, bro. Now, people have to understand what we're dealing with here. Like, first of all, that area is highly influenced by people like Mark Furman, right? After Mark Furman left LA, he moved up to Sandpoint, Idaho. And he had a real popular radio show there, and it influenced a lot of people there, right? Okay. That's just one thing. I can only speak of what I know. And I'm going to lead up to what I'm going to get to, you know, what I'm talking about. But I can only base off my own experience. And right before my mom passed away 10 years ago, she begged me, do not go to Idaho no more. Because, like I said on the last call, power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. And Idaho is a whole different world, bro. Beautiful, most beautiful state I've ever seen. But it's the people that are controlling it that's on some other stuff. So let's just say once upon a time, bro, I was traveling through Idaho, right? I was traveling, heading back home to Spokane, and I get pulled over not too far from where all this stuff is. I don't want to put too much details because, you know, people be sleuthing and shit.
Absolutely.
But I got pulled over by Idaho State Patrol, and they swore to God that there was dope in my car, bro. They swore to God. And there wasn't. So, produced find that I got from a person, just, you know, it was in the trunk, put bullet, everything legit. And I got pulled over for speeding, and apparently I had a suspended license, right? So they took me to jail. I went to jail, but the trooper that pulled me over took my gun. He didn't put it into the records. He told me straight up when he was taking me to jail, like, man, you better not say nothing about this. I'm giving this to my wife, and he straight up jacked me for my gun, right? Okay. So let's just say hypothetically, a crime happens and they want to place that. So let me lead to what I'm talking about, bro, on why I keep wolfing over here about that 821 footage. See, if there was never any reaction with MPD and Brian Koberger, I wouldn't be tripping. But the fact that they had prior interaction with this dude and knowing the level of corruption, I've been in jail in Moscow before. I've seen them beat the brakes off of a person just for the color of his skin. I'm talking about the police there, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's like, if they never interacted with that dude before, it would be a very slim chance that they could plant a weapon. But like I said, when you speak of the level of corruption of ISP and MPD and all the other authorities in the state of Idaho and Spokane too, and Pullman and all that, it's just, bro, it's just a different world. People don't understand. It's not like being in Indianapolis or Chicago or St. Louis where you pass it through and you're not noticed. If you're the only person with Pennsylvania plates and you're in Moscow, Idaho on top of that, and you're not one of them good old boy cliques, and, you know, them police can do anything to you. They can take anything from you, and there's not much you can do about it unless you got the bread to fight it. You know, so it's like, that's why I say it's so important that we see that body cam footage, because there's a possibility that they could have said, hey, what is this knife you have on your hip here? What is this knife you have in your glove box? This is past the 2-inch rule or the 3-inch rule, and we're confiscating this and we're taking this. And I know it's, you know, it's little space cadetty or whatever, but it's possible because it happened to me. Luckily, I'm not Brian Koberger, and they never took that gun of mine and used it for a crime and ran me through the ringer, but I'm saying that it's possible because I know the level of corruption. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's me. I see the person comment. I'm from Spokane too, so you know. My family's been in that region for 200 years. My family was the first settlers in that whole entire region, from Montana, Idaho to Washington.
So, I mean, a lot of people are speaking on corruption, and I know the time is in. I'm just gonna pause it now and just put it away for 1 second. I know people speak on corruption and you know, Idaho. Is it?
Yeah.
What now? I know that the Christian Andriacchio case, the corruption in that state is, you know, they speak about that very heavy. She's got lawsuits going on and all different types of shit, and they're talking about the corruption's bad out that way too. So is it something relatable to that?
I'm not familiar with that case, but I could just tell you right now, bro, it's the ultimate police state. You know, the most, like, if I travel from Arkansas to Spokane, the most treacherous part of that trip is going through that 60-mile stretch of I-90 through Idaho. Imagine that, 2,500 miles, and the most treacherous part, the most scariest part, and I'm not talking about just because of the mountain passes you go through. I'm talking about the way that the police just, man, they trap you. If you don't have Idaho, dude, look it up. Last week, like, Kootenai County just announced that they're damn near going to go to war with Washington residents. Like, they think people from Washington, because our laws are so free, are like the scum of the earth. And they just announced this the other day, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this state is, it's a police state. And they police it that way to keep their kind there and to keep things that aren't like their kind out of there. Because like I said, it's such a beautiful place that they don't want to really share it with nobody else. So they create these corrupt, bro.
I'm not, yeah, I never, you know, I know corruption is real. You know what I'm saying? I know corruption is real. Fucking,
bro, I could talk to you for probably like, I could probably talk to you for about 5 hours straight without talking and tell you about my interactions with Idaho and what they've done to me and the things that they've done me through and the unconstitutional, bro. It's damn near traumatizing. I should like receive medicine for it, you know what I'm saying? But I don't, because I'm a real one. But
boss, that's crazy.
If you're not from there, you really might not know. If you pass through there, you might not know. But if you from Spokane, or if you just accidentally ended up in Idaho just trying to get to Washington and been pulled over by them, bro, you will never understand, man.
Right.
And I that's why, like, I stick, you know me, since day one, I stuck to my guns on this case, because
even
I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Before there was a perpetrator, you spoke out what you thought. So
and for the record, I'm not saying that Brian Koberger is innocent either.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that there's a huge possibility of corruption dealing with these particular bad characters, bro.
Most definitely, boss. I appreciate you calling. I'm gonna hit you up. You gotta hit me up and actually inbox me on Twitter. I want to talk to you more about what you went through.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Yeah, we can video chat or whatsoever. I'll send you all the info.
I'd love to hear more about how they did you, because I've seen some stories. It's coming out of Virginia. I've seen stories out of Virginia. So corruption is real. Like, people need to understand that corruption is real. Now, we're not saying, I know that I'm not saying that it happened in this case because I don't know that. And if there is, I'm sure they'll unfold it at any cost, or try to anyways. So, but corruption is definitely real. Like, people just need to understand that corruption is real. I mean, look at the shit that happened with the guys in Chicago that were working with the gangs, and they were literally detectives. You know what I'm saying? Rocking with the gangs. Crazy.
Bro, I could tell you stories, man, especially about that area. It's just deep. Like what the little story I just told you, that's only like part one of it. Like, if I was, people would start crying if I was to tell you the rest of that story. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But like, we'll sit down and we'll chop it up. But before I get off, man, you I got to let the people know it's free 99 to just go ahead and hit that like button.
I appreciate you, my brother. God bless you, man.
And check out T-REV's new video too, and like it and share it. That's what y'all should do. We can all multitask here. You know what I'm saying? It's 2023. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, brother, man. Shout out to Boss, always calling up. Salute to you, brother. I hope you have a beautiful Friday too, and hopefully I hear from you again, my boy.
Yeah, much respect. Keep up the good work.
No doubt, brother. Salute. Shout out to Boss. Hold on, let me get my thing. Where's it at? We gotta, what is alive without that? 252 is going on. Damn. My bad, 252. I see you too. 252 is actually going ham out here. 252 wants to talk. I got you. 252. I'm from the dirty South. Tell me about the corruption. What's going on, 252? How you doing?
Hey, I dropped you, man. Sorry about that.
What's going on, brother? Familiar voice.
Yeah, Big Lou, Carolina, baby.
Big Lou, baby. What's going on, my guy? What's on your mind?
I think the biggest problem with the case is not about all the drama of who did what and where and when and all that good stuff. It's going to come down to which agency handled what. Whether when an agency is doing an investigation, especially a local agency, and I have some expertise in it, and they request a state agency to come in or a federal agency to come in, they will come in and help, but you had to state what you want done specifically. In other words, you had to spell it out almost like on a sheet of paper or verbally of, we're going to handle this and we would like you to handle that because you're better than we are and you got more stuff going on and got more tools. So my thing is, I think where the case is, and I think the defense attorney is going to exploit this, if too much was handled by Idaho PD, there's where the problem's going to be. Now, how much the state and federal took care of business, I guess we're going to find out. But I've been with you for a long time, watched you. I've been watching you forever, man. And back in the day when you and Detective John was looking at the videos, the folks going out there doing the crime scenes. Now, I don't know if you can pull back video somewhere down the line.
Always.
Insignias of who was in the, like Detective John's like, man, they should have had the windows covered. They should have put on their PPEs. I mean, was it mostly MPD or was it FBI? And I think that's where it's going to it's going to come down to is who handled what. Who handled what? You know, if I was the guy calling the shot, well, just say I was the local police chief.
Right.
I would be very humble. Appreciate y'all coming out here, doing what you can. Dude, we're just a rural police department, okay? So we're going to go on the lowest level of the investigation, which would be just interviews.
Right.
Okay? We're going to hold down interviews. All that expertise stuff and that technology stuff, oh, can you all help us out with that? Because y'all are way above us. Okay?
Right.
Now, if they tried to go overstep their expertise is where I think there's going to be that problem.
Right.
And that's the thing I worry about, man. I still call BS on the 8 hours. I mean, there is no way that either one of those, at least one of those two, if not two of those two surviving roommates know more than what they're talking about. There's no way. I don't care how they want to spice it up with sugar. And they probably will. I mean, by now they've got their stories together and, you know, figured out what they're going to say. And it was smart for them to lawyer up straight out the gate because they was like, man, you know, they don't want to be litigated against for negligence later on down the line. So the first thing they got to do, not necessarily on what they were going to have to talk about, but the negligence of what they didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
So they got the lawyers, which was smart. Will we ever know the truth on that? I don't know. Do I think that there's a cover up or anything like that? No. I just think it's could be a thing of people were over their heads. You know, not to say that they were. Maybe they handled it top notch as far as the police department was concerned, but odds are probably not. You know, it's not because it was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Just lack of training, lack of knowledge, lack of experience, that kind of deal. So,
wow. So,
what do you think, man?
As far as what? Because I'm on the grand jury shit. Like that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the grand jury shit. I'm thinking about what's sealed in there. Are they protecting a witness? Is there evidence? What are they protecting that's sealed in there that we can't look at? That's what that's what I've been thinking about mostly because the new documents that came out and it's mentioned in these, you know, the shit being sealed, and I think it's they're either protecting some type of evidence or a witness, but for some reason I think witness because they do everything they can to protect a witness.
Oh yeah, I think it's a witness, and you're familiar with cooperative and a hostile witness, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
A hostile witness is a witness that you know would be a good witness, but they're reluctant for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So you don't know when they get on the stand whether they're going to be for us or against us. So you just go ahead and designate them as a hostile witness. I mean, you weigh the odds. I think there's cooperative witnesses. I think BK's sister, one of his sisters, are going to testify against him, and then there's going to be a hostile witness. Is going to be, which is going to be either the two surviving roommates, one of the two.
Yeah,
they're going to be hostile.
I mean, if you think about it like this, they were the two that were in the house with them. If anybody else was outside during that time nearby and they seen something, right? Like say they ID'd the vehicle that they're talking about at that time, then they're a witness also.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So say somebody's outside having a morning cigarette at 4:30 in the morning. They live on the corner and they're standing out on their deck smoking a cigarette, and they see this speeding white vehicle come by, and they somehow identify this vehicle. That's a witness,
right?
So that, you know what I mean? Like there's no telling who or what or where people were at that time. And I mean, just like random people, it could be anyone who just lived in that area that was doing anything in the morning hours that seen something. Because sometimes people do see stuff, man. They do. People are vigilant and really are nosy. So we got to keep that in mind also. And then another thing that I'm calling it, and I've called this from the jump. I feel like digital, and what I mean by digital is really what I'm referring to is video footage is going to play a big role in this case. I feel like it's going to. I feel like some video footage is going to play a big role in this case. Now, whether that's a video footage of the vehicle or video footage of whatever, but I feel like it's going to play a big factor in this case at some point. And I feel like that's why maybe they're going hard on for the death penalty. But I could be wrong.
You know, all these people that are totally pro Kohberger. I mean, whatever.
Tons of them.
It's not about the evidence. Singularly as on its own. It's a combination or a collection of all the evidence. You know, whether you feel like it's circumstantial or not, it's a buildup of all collectively, the likelihood of all this collective evidence, you know, that builds the case and gets conviction. I mean, so yeah, I think I think they have been protecting some folks. I think one of the sisters, whether she wants to come forward or not, I think they're going to call her. And when you call somebody like that, you're rolling the dice if you don't know what they're going to say. And I think the same way with Bethany and DM. Oh man, I man, if I could, I don't care where I am or what I'm doing. If they put that out there on air in live, I'm gonna drop what I'm doing, and I'm gonna make sure I hear every bit of that testimony, because that is the number one thing in this case.
No doubt.
That everybody wants to. I mean, it may not be a bearing on guilt or innocence, but everybody wants to know that. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Ain't no doubt, Big Lou. I appreciate you calling in, brother. I'm going to get some more people on. Shout out to Big Lou from Carolina in the building. If you think of anything else, brother, you know you can call back.
No problem, man. Appreciate it.
God bless you, brother. Happy Friday, by the way.
Too.
God bless you, man. Shout out to Big Lou from Carolina, man. Always pulling up and showing love. Shout out to that man. Let's see. Yo, you know we got 3,000 voicemails almost right now.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's up, my dude?
What's up?
I am not T-Pain, my dude.
Right. What's going on, T-Pain? You sang it to us today?
Yeah, my dude. All right. Wait, actually, no, today is my day off. I can't. All right.
Oh, okay.
So the thing is like, the big piece of evidence is like all the data, man. Like, they can for real pinpoint, like with technology today, they can pinpoint exactly where you're at. So like people
it doesn't count in this case, you know?
Oh, I know, because everything doesn't count in this case. But like people are forgetting that they told us already that he showed up to their house then the morning after the murders. He was chilling at their house before anybody even knew that the murders had happened. How did Kohberger know? That's just weird, my dude. Like, how did he know that the murders happened before they even called it into police?
And that's a very valid question if that's the case. 100%.
They put that in I think it was in the probable cause. Like, why would he just be showing up? And he doesn't, supposedly, like the defense is saying that he has no connection to them. But then why was he at their house like 12 times before that? if he has no connection, why? How did that dude like know about where they lived or who they were, and why was he just like showing up to their house all the time?
Like what? And you're thinking maybe there was some type of connection there.
I'm thinking he was stalking them.
Okay.
So like that's the connection. Is like this dude was a weirdo, and he's just stalking them beforehand. Like people like think that the cell phone towers can't pick up exactly where you're at, but all the data, your phone tracks you, my dude. So like they have all of that. Like that will show a lot in this case.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. How many times have we seen pangs be used against people in murders?
Exactly. And like in trials today, they're always talking about data. Like in the Lori Vallow case, they were able to see when, I think it was Alex Cox, the brother, when he was in the backyard where they found the kids' bodies. Like they could see where he was at different places in the backyard in Chad Daybell's yard. So of course they're going to be able to use the data against it, Brian Koberger.
Of course they're gonna, and I feel the same way. That like people saying these pings they don't count. Like what? It baffles me when I see the people say that pings don't matter. Like I mean, they mattered in a lot of other murder cases, so why wouldn't they matter in this one?
Right.
That's my first thought.
Oh my bad, dude. Go ahead.
Nah, it's your time. Go ahead. That's my first thought initially, though. When I hear this, the pings, people want to argue about pings, but in reality, in a lot of convictions, as of the last almost 15 years, even we can get pings have been big when it comes to murder cases. I know that for a fact.
Yep, 100%, my dude. And like people really want to make it seem like his DNA literally underneath Maddie's body. That is huge. People really want to like deflect from that and try to say that he was set up. No, my dude. No. He was like, that's pretty damning evidence. Like people can try to minimize that all they want, but that puts him in contact with a victim at the time of the murder. That's huge.
It's definitely huge. And then the fact that his phone turned off. What time? I'm trying to remember it turned back on at like, was it 5 in the morning? I can't remember. There's the timeline is so, what was it?
Like, he like turned his phone off right before the crimes and then turned it back on after when he's seen on video surveillance driving away. That's like people really this doesn't seem like that hard to put all these pieces together of just what we do know. It's not that hard to really put it all together so far and be like, yeah, man, this dude definitely has something to do with this. It's the people that are literally making up theories of cops planting evidence. Those are the people that are literally they're not thinking logically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the cops planted evidence. I mean, they got to prove that the cops planted evidence. And right. I'm pretty sure they have. I don't know who found the knife sheet, so I can't say. Right? It says in the PCA what appeared to be a knife sheet, this, that, and the third. But who was the actual officer that found that?
For sure, my dude. But yeah, I'll let you go, my dude. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you calling in. God bless you, man.
God bless you, and thank you for doing this work, man. You're advocating for a lot of victims, so thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to you. God bless you. Happy Friday. Stay safe. Lock your doors and protect yourself.
Oh, for sure. You too.
Shout out to you. Shout out to her. What a beautiful soul. Beautiful soul. I see them numbers ringing. Who's this guy? Look at that guy. I almost want to play some of these voicemails. We got 3,000 almost, or I'm sorry, 2,800 something voicemails. Almost at 3,000. Hey, Pop, let off that damn call button and actually let it come through on your side because you're calling so much. Pop, let out that. What's going on, Pop?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
You know, same old, same old. What's going on, Pop?
I love you, pal. Listen.
Love you too, Pop.
I've been hearing some shit that, and it kind of makes sense that when Dylan couldn't get a hold of Xana and Ethan, she called the friend over to help.
Mm-hmm.
The door was locked, according to somebody.
Right.
And she couldn't get in. Now, there was no blood in the hallway for her to say, oh my God, something happened, to call the cops. Okay? There was no blood in the hall. So she called, forget the fucking guy's name right now, but she called him and he went in and somehow got the door open, which made him think, well, he's seen them lying on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he came out and told them, but he grabbed the girl's phone, and he was the one that called. Am I making any sense?
Keep going.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson. So he was the one that called.
Uh-huh.
And that's where they got the unconscious person.
Right.
I would love to hear the 911 call because he saw them lying on the floor. But
I don't think we're hearing that till trial, though, Papa Sal. Come on.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. This is all, like I said, I heard it from somebody. It sounded good to me, but yeah.
Yeah, but what you're hearing from somebody, is that somebody a reliable source to hear from? Do they got firsthand confirmation into getting this at the,
I don't know,
and
and I'm going to lean towards they don't, okay? So, yeah, I get it. But it did make sense.
Papa Sal, it's like me putting out, like, let me pause for a second. That's like me saying, yeah, well, VK pulled up with the house. So, hey, I could just make up some information, right? It's like, and then you go and repeat it. Did you hear from a YouTuber? Did you hear from somebody that actually has factual information on the case, or was it something? You know what I mean?
Well, I heard it from a YouTuber.
So I'm saying you can't believe everything us YouTubers be saying, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Going back to the stalking thing, the mom. See, and I kind of tend to believe everything the fucking parents say. Between Steve, Christy, I believe everything. And she said that there was nobody stalking them or her. She said she would have been told.
Right.
She would have, Kaylee would have told the mom that somebody was stalking them. But I don't know. One time she told the guy in a smoke shop store that she thought she was being stalked. But I don't know. I kind of put the stalking thing to rest because of the mom.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, if mom's saying it, then I'd rock with mom. If you heard it from mom, then I actually believe it.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'd have to believe it until shown otherwise.
Yeah. And as far as this guy coming in some kind of a Dexter suit or some kind of a fucking, need it.
Papa's caught in that web. I see where you're at.
There's an eyewitness, which is Dylan, that said he was dressed in black. She would have said he was covered in some kind of plastic, but she didn't. She said the man was dressed in black with a black mask.
Uh-huh.
So you have to believe what she's seen. I mean, there's no Dexter guy you know, this fucking case is fucking crazy. Let me tell you, this fucking case is crazy. It makes you think. All this shit. But I would love to hear the 911 call. I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
And as far as them doing the 8-hour thing, that fucking gets me. I mean, once that guy got into that room, if that happened, and seen them laying there, they should have called 911, period. But why didn't they?
Right.
Fucking killing me. All right, go ahead, brother. I love you.
Love you
My
too,
time's
pal.
up.
Love you too, pal. I see ya. Let me see.
All
Where's
right.
that other document transcript I had?
If anything comes to mind, I'll give you a call back.
All right, Papa. All right, Papa. Yeah, no doubt. I got you.
I love you, buddy.
Nice to hear from you 2 years later.
I love you, buddy.
I love you, pal. You know?
Yeah, say it. I love you, pal.
Papa Sal, shout out to you, pal. Happy Friday, too.
Happy Friday, brother. To everybody out there, happy Friday.
No doubt, Papa. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right.
God bless. Lock your damn doors, too, because you ain't safe.
No, fuck that.
Yeah, lock them. Lock them.
I want them to come in.
Okay,
say
Papa.
say hello to my two friends, Smith and Weston.
Yeah, I like Smith. And I mean, Weston's cool, too. You know, he's a good guy. And Smith, he holds it down also. Shout out to Smith and Weston. Tell him I said what's up.
I will.
All right, Papa Sal. I love you, pal.
All right. All right.
Shout out to Papa Sal. God bless him. Don, what's going on, Don? Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? 409, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, T?
What's going on?
It's Amy from Texas.
Amy in the building from Texas. How's it? First of all, how's the weather?
Hot as hell, man. Hotter than hell.
Are you in the AC at least?
Oh, absolutely.
That's good. That's
Unless I'm at the pool or a beach, I am in the AC.
good. So what's on your mind today?
So, first of all, I know this doesn't have anything to do with true crime, but I listened to your song this morning,
Thank
and
you.
man, you are so very talented.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm a musician and I'm picky, and I actually love hip hop and rap, and I was very touched and moved by your music, and I just want to shout out to you for that, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I wanted to ask you about Brian's hands. Did you happen to notice at the hearing, did you notice he had a Band-Aid on his hands? And his
Yeah, I sure did.
What the hell is that about?
And I'm going to pull it up right now that you said that, because, you know, I don't know. Maybe a fight. Who knows? Did he punch something? I have no idea. Maybe, you know, sometimes when you're locked up, you get also there's bed bugs and shit in jails. I'm just mentioning certain things. What do they call it? Cellulitis or whatever, where you get it on your hand, or cellitis. I forget what they name it, but you know, there's all types of stuff like that in jails.
Well, I kind of have a theory. I think he is like severely OCD. And I'm wondering if he's like washing his hands raw with that jail soap.
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah, it was just like I was kind of interested. Somebody said something about handcuffs, but and that's, you know, I guess that could be true, but yeah, I actually screenshotted it and looked really close.
You're talking about that right there. I think it's really something that was from the jail, in my opinion, but
yeah,
who knows, you know, who knows what it is. I really do think it was something that happened at jail with his hand, like, because there is a lot of stuff that goes on in jails, like disgusting in there. Yeah, exactly, Marissa. But hey, I mean, I don't know what it is. Who knows?
Well, I just thought it was kind of interesting. And then also, I just kind of want to go, I wanted to talk about some of the other channels. I cannot believe how many people are almost like it's almost like they're making light of what happened and showing him with a beard and how people would swipe right on Tinder. I just, I think it's, you know, well, we've talked about this before, but I mean, there are 4 beautiful souls that are victims here. He's the man in custody. There was DNA on the sheath, and I know that there are a lot of, you know, kind of holes in the TCA and this and that. But I mean, I think it's gross that people would even think about him like, you know, oh, you would date him, and it's just like, what do you think about that?
I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
There's
a lot of shit out here. I mean, but it is what it is. People are gonna have all different types of shit, you know.
It's disrespectful, though, man.
I agree. I agree. But I know one thing that we'll never be able to do is stop that type of shit.
Right, and exactly. That's why, you know.
The only thing we could do is just not look at it.
And yeah, that's a very, very good point. That's a very good point. And sometimes I'll see it; it'll just be like out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" No,
I just to put it out there too for everybody who pays attention to it, you know, and goes and looks at it. All you're doing is boosting it, and people don't realize that. Like when somebody when they go over and they do and they think that they're going over and creeping these different things, and they say they dislike it and they stand against it, but once you click on it, you're supporting it and putting it in the algorithm. So, you know, if you know what you're going to look at, then you just stay away from it. But if you click on the shit, you're putting it in considerations. You're putting it in the algorithm. If you hit the thumbs down, no matter if you hit the thumbs down, thumbs up, no matter what, it's putting it in the algorithm.
Yeah,
you know
definitely I think exactly, and I'm gonna really pay attention to that because I did put a thumbs down on that one, so I probably just, you know, got more views for him. But that being said, I just think, you know, our society as a whole, I think it, you know, I'm not saying everybody, because we have, you know, some great, wonderful people in the world, but there's some sick shit going on when people are talking about how they would date him and, you know, and I think it's just kind of getting, the whole case is being muddled, and it's a great tactic by the defense. To muddle the case. Oh, there were 2 other DNA profiles at the scene and this and that. But how do you explain his DNA on the metal snap of the sheath? You can put all this out there. You can you can try to fight the genetic genealogy, but it's still his DNA on the sheath metal snap.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, to me, that's like the biggest piece of evidence. And as far as like a Dexter, I watched your Spirit Box the other night. Oh, my time is up.
You're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Your Spirit Box the other night, somebody said they heard Dexter.
Yeah, I heard Dexter. You know.
Yeah, and I really feel like that, you know, him with his background and everything, allegedly, if he committed this murder, that he did put some kind of at least booties, and he definitely had gloves on, you know, something that would cover himself up, you know, to not carry DNA into the car.
Uh-huh.
So I definitely think that's a possibility. And that's the first thing I thought of when I was watching your Spirit Box session the other night. But anyway, I know my time is up. Thank you so much. You're insanely talented.
Thank you.
And I just can't tell you how much I, you know, appreciate what you do, and wish you all the blessings in the world, man.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. That means a lot to me. God bless you. And thank you for calling up and having a voice in the community. I really appreciate you guys.
All right. Well, we love you. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
I love you back. Lock your doors and stay safe, okay?
Will do. Thank you, babe.
Bye-bye. Shout out to her. Wonderful soul. Honorable. I'm gonna put these up on I'll upload these too for people who want to look at the actual documents. Let me put them in Discord real quick.
Other DNA is not going to be, in my opinion, very difficult to overcome because, you have so many kids going in and out of their home. However, Brian Kohlberger's DNA on that sheep underneath her body tells us, or beside her body, tells us a whole bunch about, him being in that house. That is a really high bar to overcome, but you're the expert.
Wait, hold on.
You know what? Actually, hold up. Before I see some people calling in. 1 second. I want to play a couple of these. Tell me if you guys can hear this, and I got to watch out which ones I play. I got to watch out which ones I play because some people say too much in them, right? All right, let's listen. Are you ready?
Hey, T-REV. This is Natalie. You got some foul mouth guy on your show right now, Detective John or something. That's really rude. Saying stuff about him. She said some stuff that's true. And you might want to just get off your show and go look at Crime Circus Drip Drop. He released a great video today that is the truth about the DNA. You're just clickbaiting. He knows a lot more. He's a good, even though he wears lots of makeup, the guy's good. So people are saying he could be a defense attorney. The DNA is, if you watched other shows.
Can y'all hear that? Oh, you said echo. Is it an echo? Can y'all hear that? It's called the you can't hear that. Hold on, let me hear it. Let me go to the stream real quick. Yeah. I'm doing a sound check. That's a voicemail I'm playing. I'm playing people's voicemails. We got 3,000 almost. We got 3,000 voicemails. Some of them like 4 minutes. I want to play a couple of these. Tell me if you guys can hear this. I gotta watch out which ones I play. I gotta watch out which ones. I want to hear how it sounds. Too much in them, right? I'm just making sure. Let's listen. You ready? Okay, yeah, I can hear that perfectly. I can hear that. It's just playing how it plays, like if she was on the phone.
Chaos Sector. They said the DNA was planted there on December 28th, and they have the receipt to show that it was planted there. It was not there before, and Brett co-packer left that sheet to frame Brian. That Brian did not kill anyone, but you need to go watch Circus. What's his face? Drip Drop on Crime Circus or whatever. He has a great video. You should really open your eyes and watch. And you'll learn about the DNA and not listen to this foul-mouthed piece of shit you got on your show right now.
Damn! Yo, people really go ham on the people really go ham on the voicemails. I need to start playing. We need to make one called Voicemail Chronicles.
Dusty, right?
Damn.
Look at other people that do stuff instead of picking on Brian's family. You guys are total shit. Total shit. You destroyed this guy's life. And there's plenty of people that believe that he's innocent because he was framed, because it's drug trafficking, and it's a lot of money to make the politicians and everything. It makes us think you guys are getting paid by him. So go look at Crime Circus and look at his video about, yep, I just listened to Drip Drop and he's on a totally different track. See someone in your thing even just wrote it. True. Right.
She went ham. I didn't catch what she was saying. Tell a foul mouth piece of shit that's on your show now. Huh?
Don't know me when I keep calling and wake you up. So, Dago talked to me today, this afternoon. He accidentally called and he told me that not to worry, there's people already working on it, boots on the ground. they're going around there and they're going to find out. They need more information. I said, but we got the drug dealer saying it. He goes, we got to dig deeper. I'm like, you guys got to be careful. Like, Rory needs to bring a gun. I mean, you're going to run into Christ Church, and they're freaks. That crazy Michelle Lee lady knows about them. She's crazy. She knows all about drug trafficking, sex trafficking, human trafficking, organ harvesting. All that's big up there. She knew all about it, but she's kooky. I can't deal with her. She showed up on YouTube the other day. I was like, oh, please,
Thank
not
you.
again. But he says they're forming a thing. I said, well, are they talking to the FBI? Well, they got someone they can trust. And this is going to blow up. It's going to blow up in the open. And that's what Sophia said. She says, when this blows open and this case blows open, your mind is you're going to be blown when you find out that they threw a brilliant criminologist informant to the wolves. And why? To cover it up. Why?
Have we been missing out on gold mines and the voicemails? I see, look, people are maxing out the voicemails. Like I said, 2,800 in total, a little bit over 2,800. And a lot of them are 3 minutes of people speaking their mind. All right, so if you get through and you do get to a voicemail, start leaving them. We'll start playing them. Don't leave personal information in there. And just make sure you talk for 3 minutes, and I'll play it.
Money? I said, I don't know.
Voicemail Chronicles.
She said, think. It's got to be money. Money for the university, money for the law enforcement. She said, Payne and Chief Fry are crooked as can be. And so he has to sit there in jail. He's in protective custody, as are Bethany and Dylan, because they're scared of the cartel.
She's saying he said, but he said...
They don't even know who the top cartel is. They don't even know who replaced this guy who's a king, Constantine at Mad Greek. They don't know who...
Yo, this is the same shit that No Chain sent to me on. So it just shows me that when No Chain's left here, she took this to all these creators and said, there's so much going on. There's so much corruption going on. Oh my God. No Chain. I got a folder of everything that she had, and she said she was going to come up every other day, which would turn into every other day. But it just sounds like as soon as No Chains, I got No Chains up out of here, a couple of these creators started getting to this information. We're going to Moscow. We're going to uncover this corruption. There's 9 murderers. It's stuff.
They're trying to figure that out now. But everybody's involved. Everybody knew this was going to happen except the 4. When they're at the grub truck, someone said if you look at the full unedited grub truck, after Kaylee and Matt.
Someone said, man, please, I promote to all of you to please do your own research and don't go based off of what someone said. Don't even go based off what I said. If I say something, go check it. If I say something, go check it. And I tell you if I could possibly be wrong. People got to stop saying that, because some people like that, and I feel bad for her because she's believing what she's hearing rather than going to check to see if it's actually adding up. And I've made that mistake before as a person. So I'm not bashing this caller. This caller is just, somebody who's very interested in the case. You could tell she's passionate. You could tell that she's into the case. But I just feel like, instead of listening to what others tell you is going on, and it's basically like someone doing the research for you and you not checking it. You know what I mean? Like, you want to make sure that what you're checking is somewhat is a real, not even somewhat. You need to make sure it's real. What?
They don't know who their king is. They're trying to figure that out now.
It's crazy.
But everybody's involved. Everybody knew this was going to happen except the 4. When they're at the grub truck, someone said if you look at the full unedited grub truck, after Kaylee and Maddie leave, it looks like people are looking at their phones and their mouths are open and they're screaming like they're watching the murders take place right then. So the timeline doesn't fit their little car thing. I think it started at 2. And it might have ended around 3:45 when the black truck goes past the van field. And then somebody went in there and helped Dylan and Bethany clean. There's a comment that says, ask Dylan and Bethany who helped clean half the house up. And when the police came in, Fry, he said, party, huh? There was 20 students trampling in there. 20 of them. That crime scene is, that's just throw the case out just for that. But it's Brent Kopak as a SEAL, a cop, and then Demetrius, Emma, and maybe Quinn, because he was around. And then, what's her face, Dylan, she saw Xana and Ethan's body, and so she went hysterical, and then she went hyperventilating, and then she left at 12:10, and she jumped into a big black truck, which is Quinn's truck or her dad's truck. Some people are saying her dad might have been in.
That's the new wave. All right, listen. If you cannot get through, leave a voicemail. I'm gonna start playing these. Voicemails. Let me make sure there's no personal information inside of it. Okay, I see.
Okay, it's me and Natalie. Okay. I've told you this already. Brian drove Brent Kopacker over to the house. They used to buy cocaine from there for his migraine. And he drove him over that morning to get the cocaine. And they sat in the back.
She left. I won't say what her area code is or nothing, but she left 3, 6, 9, 12. About 20 minutes in voicemail messages.
In the parking lot and were cutting lines, and then Brent figured out he's an informant. He could smell a rat, so he tried to lure him in because he knew that this was a premeditated, targeted attack.
Miranda says, let's call her back. Good God, I heard all this before. It's a scenario. No, ma'am. Cocaine.
On them, because the girls were talking.
Natalie is my new favorite caller.
Drug people about the trafficking ring. They were talking too much. That's what did you tell Maddie? I told them everything. Oh, they're going to get you for that. That's what that was. It wasn't that, oh, she wants to get back with Jack DeCour. No, that was that. I told them everything. Adam then called up somebody, or Adam called Constantine at the Mad Greek. He was the king. He called the hit in and said,
Hold on. That's these text. Damn. 5,000 text messages? Leave voicemails. 3-minute voicemails. Voicemails Chronicles. That's what, or voicemail Chronicles. We're going to do that. Hold on. Is this, it doesn't tell me the transcription. 3 minutes, huh?
hey, T-REV, my name is Natalie, and my number is 707.
Can't play it. Sorry. I'll leave it just like that. Nope. As soon as I hear personal information start to come out, I'm stopping it.
Okay, it's Natalie running the machine out again. Okay, Brian drove Brent Kopacker over there.
All right, yeah, let's get off that. Let's go to. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it has personal information in it. Can't play it. Make sure you don't leave your personal information inside the voicemails if you want me to play it live. Because we got to make sure that's not in there. Don't say your phone number. Don't say none of that. A lot of people, damn. So, okay, short. Okay, here we go. Whoa, I just didn't realize it was just cram-packed full of stuff like this. Sorry. Okay, you say your phone number in there. I can't play it. Sorry. Thank God it shows me the wording inside of it, the phone call beforehand. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, this is sends someone about the college murders case. I have information that it's just my own feelings about it and what happened, but I am very familiar with people with mental disorders.
Okay.
And also my son just passed away last year, and he's dealt with it all his life. He hadn't quite turned 40 when he passed of
sorry, caller.
cirrhosis because he
God bless her.
Had a drinking problem. But I do have knowledge of. I've seen a lot of addicts. I've seen a lot of whether they murderers, overdoses, just
So then she cut off. Okay, somebody didn't leave that. It says 3 minutes. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, it's Dark Horse. I've sent you a couple of emails letting you know about some certain resources that I really believe will save lives, because not many people know that these resources exist.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a beautiful point. Beautiful, messy ball. That's a beautiful point. Yeah, I like the theory ones. If you're calling in, make sure, and if you don't get through, and you do get left at the voicemail, make sure that you make sure that you leave a voicemail. I gotta clear these voicemails out. I'll go through and listen to them and save some for us to actually go through. But thank you for that disclaimer notice. I have to think of that. 916. What's going on?
I just wanted to say really, really quick. I was thinking about it, and really upset that DM didn't, say anything or do anything for 8 hours. But had she, we could have potentially lost. I don't know if BK's footprint was in blood, but we could have potentially lost his footprint. And had she gone up and saw Maddie and whatnot, she could potentially have grabbed that knife sheath, messing up our DNA. I'm just saying, I'm just looking on the brighter side. I mean, we could have potentially lost them. It just dawned on me.
Right.
Something feels so naughty, but so fun listening to people's voicemails. It just feels so wrong, but so right.
Hey, I mean, I'm trying to play the ones where I actually, because it usually puts a transcript there for you and it shows you exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
So that's the ones that I'm trying to play. But I see ones where people mention their number and name, and I'm like, nah, I can't play it.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm going to let you go because that's all I wanted to say was, seriously, I mean, listen, I do not like that Dylan didn't go call the police, didn't go check on anybody. I mean, that really just isn't good. I don't like that. But it never dawned on me that what if she went up there and went, oh my God, and grabbed Maddie and was trying to give people CPR and grab the knife. We could potentially have lost some major evidence. I'm just saying, I'm trying to look on the bright side. All right, let's listen to some more really crazy messages.
All right, well, I'm down. Let's go.
Okay. All right,
shout out to you, Weston. Excuse me. She said, let's listen to some crazy messages. Text chronology. All right, we'll start here because we got about 20 minutes worth of. Here we go. Let's start from here again.
It's Natalie again. The PCA is a piece of junk. There was a comment yesterday by a lady whose husband was a police officer. He has 35 years of writing PCAs. He said he's never seen such a poorly written PCA in his life. Why'd they leave out what Bethany said? It's because what Bethany said would free him and exonerate him. That's why it's left out. And Dylan, she didn't see him. That's what Brett Payne put in there. He put those words in her mouth. Her friend even said so. Her friend talked to the Spanish news station, said that Bethany and Dylan lied to the police lied, everything. It's a big joke. And Dylan and Bethany were down in the bottom floor, just like Washington Kim mom said. They saw 3 to 4 guys in dark clothes coming up. That's how it happened. We've also heard that it happened right when Kaylee and Madison came home from the grub truck. They walked the dog and then they turn around and these guys are coming in the sliding glass door behind them. And Jana said, Kaylee's like, who the fuck are they? And Jana said, I think they were feds. And then they interrogated Jana and pulled her in her room and killed her, and then Ethan and then the other 2 ran up the stairs and they got killed. They were all awake.
It's all 4chan
stuff. They were
asleep,
tucked in and stuff. And the timeline is different, probably more like 2:15 to 3:45. They probably participated in the cleanup. And people say that Brett Payne was there. They didn't need to call 911 because the police were already there in the house, taking part in this, supposedly. Others say Fry drove a lawn truck with his son in it, and he was part of it. I don't know if his son was part of it or Fry. They're very corrupt. Both Payne and Fry are corrupt. There's people that have said that all along, and people are afraid to talk because they've been threatened. And this goes way up to the politicians and stuff. I like to see you guys say one good thing one time about Brian. I haven't seen it. Other than harsh reality, he speaks the truth. He's had stuff about him.
I would like to see you guys say one good thing about Brian. Okay, I respect. I mean, I have nothing good to say about somebody whose evidence is at the scene of a quadruple murder. I mean, now I'm open to hearing his defense. I'm open to hearing his alibi. I'm opening to see everything, you know, that they have. But I'm definitely not. There's nothing good to say about somebody's, you know, DNA, alleged knife sheath, phone pings. There's nothing good that I could say about that person besides, let me, you know, get your day in court, right? That's what I have to say to that. Day in court.
But you and JLR just totally bash him, and mostly JLR does that. It's disgusting. He had something last week about he's up shit creek without a paddle. It was disgusting. And the defense, Ann Taylor, has that video now, and it's disgusting. He was in prison, or he wants people to think he's innocent before guilty. But to put stuff out to poison the jury pool is just wrong. Just fill some clicks. So anyway, you can believe what you want, and we'll believe what we want, but we know something's fishy and not right. Okay.
We know something's fishy. We know it's not right.
Hey, Red, it's Natalie again. I just was listening to more of your show. Sophia Caitlin said that Brian's sister wrote a post after Christmas that told exactly what happened, how he and picked up Brent. They went to the back parking lot behind the house. They buy cocaine from there. Brent has a drug trafficking ring there. He's part of it. And they were doing cocaine, and then Brent started acting weird and wanted to be like a peeping Tom, and he was trying to lure Brian in there because he knew that Brian was an informant. And he also knew that there was people in there waiting to shake the students down. So Brian said, no way, and Brent took off with his knife and sheath, and he left the sheath there to frame him. But she wrote that story. She didn't write anything about what happened inside, I don't think. And the news media, MSM and everything, took it, twisted it, and turned it into the thing that you guys are spewing right now about his family questioned and went out and searched his car because they thought it might be him. She said they never said that. That his sister got so fed up with what the media was doing, bashing her brother, that she took her post down because all she said was that he picked Brent up to do cocaine. Then they were in the back lot, and Brent acted strange and wanted to be a peeping Tom and was trying to lure him in. And he said, no way, and he took off without Brent. Then when he went remote and silent, that's when he met with the task force and found out what happened. Then he came back at 9 o'clock because he found out something happened, and he was going, what the hell? What went on there? So all this stuff about any had visual snow and stuff, yes, that's right. That's true. But have you ever said anything good about him? The guy was top 5 to 10 out of the class of 600 in high school, even though he's a heroin addict for a while. He is only 1 out of 2 people selected to go to that school for criminal justice. Ramblin' lady said he was one of her best students. And he was part of a speech thing where he had to do speech in 2 to 3 minutes. He's very intelligent. That's what Sophia says. He's a very brilliant criminologist. And all he's been is bashed in the media. His family can't even go out and get groceries in Pennsylvania because they're hounded and said they're horrible and want to kill you. Your son killed these people. There's more evidence that he's innocent than there is that he's guilty. This chaos sector says there is no video of him at the house. Show us the evidence. You guys are all talking about evidence. JLR, evidence. JLR is totally out of line with what he's done with his videos. Totally. He should be.
All right, just so you know, there's 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, there's a lot more of that. Wow. All right. Come on, let's listen to Nancy.
Right there, that's another issue, and a good issue for the state. It's one thing for a friend, a study partner, a boyfriend to have their DNA in the home. But why is Kohberger's DNA in the home? He isn't rightfully there, much less on the knife sheath. And we can't claim, this is the knife he looked at a store, at a knife shop, and then somebody else bought it and they're the killer. No, because of that Amazon purchase receipt. Describe that, Chris McDonough. I would say that's the fly in the ointment right there, in addition to the DNA. Explain.
No, that's a solid point, Nancy. I agree. And, it's such a low-tech piece of evidence, right? Where he orders it and, it's delivered. Now there is a similar knife from Amazon connected to Brian Kohberger, according to the reports that we're hearing. But let's go back to other low-tech information.
Wait a minute. Wait. Yes, I'll go back with low-tech information. But I just want to be clear. Police have obtained an Amazon receipt showing Kohberger purchased a K-bar knife and sheath from Amazon 7 months before the murders.
Jay Lord, shout out to you.
That's damning. Because he did have a knife matching the knife found with his DNA on it. That's pretty damning. Okay, now back to low-tech info. What were you saying?
Yeah, so you would expect now the defense to produce that knife and sheath. So I think the prosecution could put them in a prisoner's dilemma, for lack of a better term. Where,
in other words, you're saying, if that's not your knife that you bought on Amazon, then where is your knife?
Yeah, bring it to court and let's put a number on it and put it in evidence. And it won't surprise me if some knife does show up, quite frankly, with a sheath that they've purchased post-incident, just for the theater effect, which, that's good lawyering. But in this situation,
also unethical to create, fabricate evidence. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so let's go back also to some of the other information that we have. We have the vehicle, a Hyundai Elantra that's described. It's seen on video from that neighbor's video camera. The morning of the homicide. We also see it at the gas station going by. And so the police were onto him from the car, i.e. just the car description. But the low-tech piece of this is that officer at Washington State University who took the initiative to start looking for that Hyundai through all the parking records at the university. And
no proof Brian did not commit the murders. That's what I'm saying. If there was proof that he did not commit the murders, I mean, this would have been brought forward. You figure they'd scream it in the courtroom.
Lo and behold, they come across a Hyundai that belongs to Brian Kohberger. And next thing you know it, they have a name. That name, very low tech, leads them to the DNA.
You're right. Can you imagine that officer? An officer, a campus officer at WSU, Washington State University, hears about, hey, they're looking for a Whitey launcher.
Exactly.
So Washington State
so curious.
Is about 10 miles-ish from the murder scene. So he, on his own, just starts looking through the records, and he finds a new launcher registered to Brian Kohberger. Because if you live on student housing, you have to register your car and a lot of other information. So he goes driving around. He hooks up with another officer. They start driving around, and lo and behold, as you said, there it is, sitting right there in the parking lot, right at his second floor apartment, right out in front of it. And that is where it all began. Right there. Very low tech, Chris McDonough, you're right. Then they figure out that he's about to leave for Thanksgiving break, and they follow him all the way to the Poconos. And that is where they get the dad's DNA. That DNA matches back to the knife sheath. Then they do another DNA match. It's Kohberger, dead in the water, and the case goes on.
You can't even
You're
come
right.
up with an alibi.
Very low
He
tech.
hasn't even given an alibi. What the what?
Yep. And you know, being in that, I know that feeling when you get this, you know, piece of information as a case agent, you go, okay, well, who's this guy? Who is this guy? And you know, let's get on this quickly.
I mean, that's another thing. Like, you had how long to put this alibi in? What is it, 7 months now, guys? You have all this time to put in this alibi. I mean, I want to hear where you at. Talk about it. Bring up the points. Call in. If you're biased about it, call. I don't care if you're biased or not. If you think he didn't or didn't, you can call in. I want to hear about it from you. The points that these people bring up, a lot of times are fantasized, but there is some people that do live by the paperwork out there. And I will say one of them, and a lot of people may not agree with me on who I'm about to say, but I seen somebody playing devil's advocate and talking, you know, talking about the paperwork, and I got to give it up for Ann Potts. Annie Potts, who's been in here, which she was blocked, right? But I unblocked her. And she talked about it in the paperwork. She talked about the paperwork and she plays devil's advocate with that paperwork. So I'll give her that point. See, but I've never really seen her making up anything like that. She brings up points about what's in the paperwork. I don't think I've ever seen her create anything, in case I didn't see it, but I don't think I've ever seen her create anything like, well, these guys doing that. I don't know. This wild shit that you're selling cocaine in the back parking lot. Where's all that proof to somebody selling cocaine in the back of a parking lot? You should do a show asking for only people who live in Moscow, Idaho, to call in with their reaction to all this. That would be interesting to hear live, says Shirley Harris. Absolutely. I'm hella into conspiracies, but this is not one. Brian's either going to take the firing squad or the needle. Thank you, Lord. There's a lot of people with that opinion, too. Lauren says, I'm working on my garden, starting this stream late, but dang, those voicemails, that's a whole show. BK won't have problem getting a girlfriend after he's convicted. Great show as always. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Angelica says he would be out of there. For real. They are asking law enforcement info because they have no alibi. Nothing to explain pangs. My bad. Just gearing up to do a Mark Furman. A lot of people keep reference Mark Furman and that shit too. Frenchie84 says, wait till they get the details on his car travel history, etc. They are scrambling to get info about the cops to discredit them. So do you guys think they're trying to get him off on a technicality? Because that's what it looks like to me. So we respect all opinion. I personally appreciate it. However, how the one explained not one bit of the DNA in a car, apartment, or office that would take extremely meticulous cleaning. So, who 100% put out there's no DNA nowhere in his apartment, car? Not where is that document that specifically says that in full writing that says yes, we did not find this. Did it come from the defense or did it come from the prosecution? Who said that? I want to know who said that. One could say the same about the probable cause. Says R. Rain. Let's see. Marlena says, and this is why Chris McDonough has 93% of solvability rate. He knows what he's talking about. BK is a psycho monster. He deserves everything and anything that has come in his way. Any pot saw that Doggo channel. Yeah, I see it all. We see it all. We got eyes. I still have to say there's going to be a lot of people shocked when the trial starts. I said it from the beginning, says Eastern Girl. Shout out to Eastern Girl. A lot of people sensationalize this like they did with Kylie Rodney and Gabby and Brian. Then at the very end, the truth was the most logical reason. But everyone on YouTube had these crazy stories, says Cara. Now I have a different opinion about Kylie, but I respect your opinion, though, 100%, full fold. I definitely do. I respect that. I was one of those ones on the Kylie Rodney case, and I stand up for that. I think that something happened bad there, but hey, I could be wrong about that. But I still feel like there was. They are grasping at air, says Liz W. So curious. College kids take pics of everything. Somebody would have pics of something nefarious, cocaine, etc. And that's what I'm saying. They take pictures of everything. Exactly. Wouldn't you find people, people take pictures of lines laying there and stunt. Like when you're dealing with drugs, people take pictures of it. It's just a thing. It's definitely a thing. He is a meticulous cleaner, according to his neighbors anyways. Tree Hugger said the defense said it. Exactly. I don't take the defense. The defense is going to create reasonable doubt. They're not about to come out and be like, yeah, well, we're caught or dead to rights. They're trying to save a guy's life from being taken from the death penalty. And not only that, they're trying to get him off. Arlene Wiley, the defense. Okay, so Curious Office wouldn't have any victim DNA no matter what, in my opinion. Pat Gordon says Friday before last, the useless paperwork. Yeah. We were just talking about that too. Modified Kings. I think his defense team is trying to do exactly what his PD LeBar from the Poconos said. Attack the evidence. They found blood on his streets or on his sheets. My bad. I said streets. I don't know why I said that. I am not T-Pain. His defense team, and I'm starting to hear my dude. I'm hearing my dude when I read this. His defense team is trying to say, my dude, there was no evidence, my dude. We don't know that is 100%, my dude. True. He also had time to clean, my dude. He knew how to clean because of his studying, my dude. Shout out to my dude. Love you, T-Pain. I'm just messing with you. Liz W says he would have to have wrapped up like a mummy to not leave DNA. I mean, that's a good point. What would he be wearing? A shower curtain? Would he put on a plastic trash bag and build a suit? I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing, my dude? She's gonna have me saying my dude now, Shout out to T-Pain in the building. Brian was apparently running down the stairs when he was arrested. Frenchie says he was known to clean at all hours of the day. Sybil says they weren't murdered at any of those places unless he didn't bathe or change his clothes for 6 weeks. Let's get to some more comments. Bullish in Seattle says, I think he's not given an alibi because he wants to be famous and wants people to talking about him. I still think a huge curveball is coming. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say the curveball. I see that shit daily. Every chat that we have. T-REV, it's not about explaining the lack of DNA. It's about explaining the actual DNA at the scene. For those with doubts, in my opinion. If you think law enforcement's version of what happened to Kylie Rodney is the truth, you have bought the Truckee Way cover-up. I don't think that happened here in this case, but hey. Yes, it's the defense's job to get him off whether he's guilty or not, even if it's a technicality. I believe prosecution will have overwhelming evidence of his guilt.
And lo and behold, that chain of events started this domino.
Yeah, Upchurch has got some thoughts on that.
To where the surveillance, the feds get involved, interstate, because it's in Pennsylvania. You get the state police involved back there. And you start doing interviews behind the scenes on the phone. Hey, we've got this Honda, this white Honda Elantra out here, and we're investigating, the case, blah blah blah. Can you tell us a little bit about your guy out there? What do you know about it?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I seen you just call. My bad. I was on Do Not Disturb. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just a little mind blown. These women calling in saying things like, "Oh, we never say anything nice about Brian." It blows my mind. The Brian stems are so disgusting. It just kills me. They have overwhelming evidence. He did it. And, he killed 3 other women. So it blows my mind for other women to be calling in, saying, "Oh, be nice about Brian." Like, seriously, I just can't fathom it.
That was wild to hear somebody. You guys have nothing nice to say about. What are we supposed to say nice about somebody who has a overwhelming amount of evidence weighing against him? In my opinion, people say, "Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? DNA, sheet, pangs, allegedly caught on camera, more and other stuff that we don't know about." So, what's up, my dude?
Exactly. And it's like, I'm a woman. I have 3 daughters. How can these women sit there and defend this man? It's mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. I hate it.
So we're supposed to sit around and be like, "Yeah, let's remove this guy out and move him in with us, my dude." It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy. He's got to see his day in court. That's point blank period. And plus, we do not know what else is sealed up right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I'm so happy. I heard now they're maybe not tearing down the house until after the trial. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but I really hope leave it there. Just leave it. I don't know. It just worries me. I think his defense is, they're going to do whatever they can to get him off. I understand that, but I don't know. It's just these women are so disappointing to me. They're so disappointing. How can you say that? To me, it seems pretty obvious. He's like an incel. He can't get women, so he's going to go kill the women who he would want to be with, who would never in a million years want to be with him. And it's like, I cannot understand women who defend men like this. What is wrong with them? What are you women thinking? What are you thinking? Just, my God, unbelievable. Especially, I'm sure some of them probably have daughters of their own. Oh my God, it's disgusting to me.
A lot of them got a personal vendetta, I feel like, against mainstream media, and it's like, look, I'm not competing with no mainstream media. I'm here to cover what I feel like, or cover what I feel and talk about what I think, and listen to everybody else who obviously has their own opinions.
Yeah.
Can I just jump ship real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is me and my husband were talking about this yesterday, and the Richard Allen. I'm still so mind blown that he came forward and said, "Hey, I was there," and it still took them that long to find him. And I guess he met this guy. I want to say he was a park ranger. He wasn't a cop, but that part, I still can't process how that happened. How he came forward and said he was there, because anytime something like that happens, I'm sure the people who came forward and said that they were there, they talked to them multiple times. They talked to them enough times to where they could draw up sketches, and it's just, I don't know. Oh, I hate that too. So many things going on this week, and just my mind is just blown.
Yeah, because Richard Allen literally, they're saying he admitted on the phone to his wife. What? And people are like, no, he just did that under duress, and he said that shit to his wife. It's not like he went in the box and sat there and got somehow coerced into saying that. He said this to his wife on the phone.
Exactly, and it's not because, I'm sorry, nobody who is having a mental breakdown is going to confess to a murder they didn't commit. They're going to have a mental breakdown because they committed a murder. Yeah, it's nothing to do. He's sitting there eating paper and shit. No, that's not.
I don't know. He didn't confess because, he didn't know what he was saying. Yes, he did. I would never confess to a murder I didn't commit. Like, nobody's doing that. Nobody. I think I really, like, at this point, just say guilty. Like, we all know you're guilty. Your attorneys know you're guilty. Like, just plead guilty and be done with it. And I think that is what might end up happening if his attorneys can't get that thrown out, which I'm praying they can't. Like, don't put the family through all that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. That shit just blows my mind. What the people are defending these, especially somebody who made because it was yesterday. Actually, I seen it too. Somebody was like, "Nah, I still think he's innocent. I still think Richard Allen's innocent. This, that, and the third, and it is innocent till proven guilty." But dude, come on, you confessed to a murder on the phone with your wife. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that just is damning to me, and it's gonna be used against them somehow. It will be, in case they get it tossed out somehow and say that he was in some type of mental state. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing too. His mental decline didn't even. It started after the phone calls, so
right.
That's convenient, I guess. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, women and mothers defending Richard Allen and Brian Covert, do better. Just do better. I don't understand. Just, yeah, these women are. They're not girls. I don't know. I don't understand them. But that's all. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
You know, I do think it's human life also, because I've heard it from men also, I've heard it from men too. I've heard it that men saying the same thing. I see them all together, grouping up, career criminals and people speaking on it. Oh, man, Brian's innocent and this, that, and the third. And it is what it is. It's an opinion based thing. I mean, and you're gonna hear shit that's just crazy. That's why I'm minding my own business.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's the same. The women who were writing Ted Bundy and, he didn't do anything. Like, shut up. Okay, whatever. I don't know. But, yeah. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am. God bless you.
Continue to listen. You too. Thank you.
God bless you. Happy Friday to you. Lock your doors. Stay safe. And thank you for having a voice in the community.
Thank you. Bye.
I appreciate you. Shout out to her.
And that whole flow of information starts to come.
Hold up.
Your call has been forwarded to an.
Your call.
Oh. Your call has been forwarded to an.
I see you. Hold up. My bad. Let me turn it off. Damn, y'all are shooting a machine gun on them calls right now. I see you. Trust me, I see you.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, hi, T-REV. My name's Christy. How are you?
Christy, how you doing? 925, you're live. What's going on? What's your thoughts?
This is the first time I've called in, but I just wanted to say that, a lot of people are saying, oh, he's innocent and there's no DNA here or there. But first of all, in the probable cause arrest, they'd never put their full case out. And number two, there are lots of ways to not get your DNA on things. I work in a lab. I've been a scientist for a long time. And I know that when we're doing manufacturing and we're making biologics and medicine, that we go through a double gowning process. It's 2 layers of Tyvek suits on us, and they're not bulky. They look like, overalls, basically. And it prevents our hair and DNA and skin cells from getting inside of the clean room that has to be clean to make medicine. And so he absolutely would know about these techniques, and he absolutely could have been using them.
So where would he be able to get that from?
You can order it on Amazon. Okay. It's very simple to get them.
And they would have that information if he did, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Or even better, if he worked in college, which he did, and they have classes on forensics, they also have them in the general supply closet, usually at the university.
Wow.
So a lot of people, they jump to conclusions. They don't know how actually the real world works in science. and how easy it is to get these supplies. Where I am, I can get gloves, I can get those Tyvek suits. I can literally just put them in my backpack and take them home. Nobody's going to even say anything.
So you said you work in a lab. Like, what do you do? Like, as far as like what's your title?
I am a senior validation engineer, but I've spent most of my time being a chemist.
Okay.
So I actually run PCR and DNA techniques and other analytical techniques.
For criminal?
Not for criminal, for biologics, for medicine. We make medicine.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
For cancer fighting, for chronic arthritis and diseases like that.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. So a Tyvek suit, he could order that, and what in your wholehearted opinion, what would that be like going in a crime scene with a Tyvek suit on?
It's literally the same kind of suits that the crime scene analysis people wear. That's what they look like. You can get them in any color. They do come in dark colors, and it's like I said, it's just a common staple. They are very cheap. They're not expensive.
Would it slow somebody down?
No, it's actually because in the clean room you have to wear 2 sets of them in order to make sure that nothing spills out from the first set, and it just slips over your regular clothes. So they have snaps. It's very simple, like to snap on, and literally you could peel them off, roll them up, and put them inside a receptacle, which is why I thought that bucket, whoever made the bucket video, absolutely. You could literally peel them off in like less than 2 seconds. Just open all the snaps, roll it up, stick it in something, a secondary container, and that's it. When you got back in your car, you don't have anything on you because literally you're just wearing your regular clothes.
Now, I have another question for you too. With the Tyvek suit, would that protect from DNA getting and transferring?
Yes. The only place that is not covered by the Tyvek suit would be likely covered by gloves, like on his hands and on his feet. They make boot covers, but it's clear from the latent footprint that he was not wearing the boot covers.
I'd love to get you on the show sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're interested, I'd love to get your knowledge on there and put it, because I mean it's talked about a lot, the Tyvek. I even seen a whole Reddit theory post on Tyvek suit and some possibly wearing one. So I would love to.
Actually, I can. You know what I'll do? I'll take a picture of like a person wearing it from our site, and then I'll email it to you so that you can get like an idea of what one would look like.
I'd love that, and then a breakdown of what, like, I don't know if you know much about like if blood splattered on that Tyvek suit or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the DNA is just luck. I don't think that he necessarily even left it on the button from that night, probably when he got the knife, because if he was wearing gloves, right? So it's just luck that when he got the knife, and he opened the snap. But Tyvek suits also have no belt loops, which is the reason why everybody's like, well, how come he wasn't wearing the sheath on his belt? There's no belt loops on those suits.
Wow. Okay. So that's interesting, actually.
Yeah. And so, like I said, everybody's making too much also of this touch DNA. Like, touch DNA, if you have nothing to compare it to, has some limits of accuracy. However, the reason why it's just a non-starter is because when they had him in custody, they took a buccal swab, which is from his inside of his cheek, and that matched 100%. In fact, it matched more than there are people ever been on the earth or ever will be likely.
And I'm pretty sure that didn't they get the Boston Strangler with touch DNA?
Yeah. Also, BTK, they got him with genetic genealogy. I mean, it's not a weak tool, but the difference is they don't go, 100% it's you. They go, the probability that it's this person versus someone else is 5 octillion to 1. So, I mean, the point is that statistically it's not possible it's anybody else. But they never go, 100%, because that's the way that the science in the court system works. They're allowed to draw like a probability.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. So you work with tiebacks, huh?
Yes.
That's interesting. I definitely would love to hear more in depth about it.
And also, you have to be trained on how to put it on appropriately in order to not contaminate anything. So, therefore, anybody that's taking criminology classes would also have been trained, and you absolutely could block potentially all of your DNA if there is no skin surface showing there is no DNA to be left.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, a lot of this, conspiracy theories, you can give your theories or whatever, but the actual science, all the defense is doing is their typical stirring up dust. It's like, oh, this could have happened. This could have happened. Yeah, a lot of things could happen. Where's your alibi?
Somebody in the chat asked a question. I'll pause for one second. They said, would a tieback suit hold up in a physical altercation? Scientists aren't in a life or death scuffle, so I don't know how durable they are to withstand.
You'd be really surprised how durable they are, because, I've had it where, I'm like literally pulling on something and I'm like, God, I can't like break open this suit. So I mean, somebody with, I'm a woman, and I'm like not a large woman, so maybe somebody with more strength could theoretically do it. I'm not going to say it's never happened, but it would take quite a bit of strength to rip that. But don't forget that even if they rip the suit, there's still clothing underneath.
Wow, somebody just sent me a link where you can buy one for like $11.
Yeah, I told you they're very cheap. You can get them everywhere. They come in different colors. A lot of painters use them. Scientists use them. There's a lot of fields that use them.
Wow, that's so. I mean, we're talking some. If this was the case, I mean, and obviously they're already thinking that they're already going for it being premeditated. So.
Right.
I'm waiting for that full story to come out on it. But yeah, that means that you would have to have some full on planning and going on into what he allegedly.
Well, and that's where the going to that neighborhood 12 times previous to the murder, but they don't have him in that neighborhood at all after the murder, except for the morning after the murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, but, I mean, if you're innocent, and I think you've put this out many times, who's not going to be like, I'm innocent. Here's where I was. Here's my alibi. Hey, here's my knife that I bought on Amazon, like you said earlier. Like, go ahead and test it for DNA. I've never stabbed anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, and I'm looking at these tieback suits right now on Amazon, and it's just
right.
It actually has a video
protection for your body during work. Use our.
It has a video showing like the way it's fabric on and all types.
Yeah.
I would share my screen, but it's got my address on it, so I ain't sharing.
Oh yeah, no problem. Well, I'll send you that picture to your email, and then you can at least display it. But I think if people saw that, if they understood really how if a smart, and I'm not saying he's over smart. Look, he clearly made mistakes, but somebody that's higher intelligence or they've taken classes, he would, like, the lack of DNA in his card doesn't mean anything to me, actually, and so it's the lack of their DNA.
Hello.
Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you peel off all of that, literally, he probably put everything, take the tie back off. He probably put the shoes inside there, rolled them up. Like, everything is self-contained. It doesn't spread,
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that it's not as hard as people think. It's not as, like, oh, just around your house where, of course, you're not protected. You're shedding DNA all the time. But when you make a plan to do those things, oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I put on a video just now. I was like, oh, I found one. It says how to take on and put on, or how to take off and put one on.
Right. And you see how he's taped the first pair of gloves down there? That's so that no skin cells of yours come out from the glove.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, I see.
And like I said, I mean, look, you found this video, and we've been talking for like about 8 minutes. You know.
Yeah. And
he was trained by professionals.
They got the
you even have shoe covers.
Yeah.
But you know, it's up to you, like how much you put on, and you know.
I appreciate you calling in with the.
No problem, man.
The breakdown.
I just wanted to kind of let you know that, and let you know like how easy it is to get them. It's not odd or rare or
put 2 gloves
anything.
On. 3 pairs with duct tape.
Well, we commonly double glove. Yeah, that's a common practice, so that if there were to become a rip in the first pair, you're still protected from, usually, like I said, chemicals or whatever it is you're working with, or from leaving your DNA on a crime scene if you're a crime scene tech. And that's the application where he absolutely would have understood how to put these on.
That's wild. So you got, it's like 2-3 layers of gloves.
And then your clothes under there.
Wow.
So go ahead and try to tell me you can find DNA. Like, where did it come out? In the first layer, in the second layer, but it's not outside in the seam.
Big Dirty says, no way he went through that much work and just left behind the sheath.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think in the panic, in the all of the adrenaline that he got hopped up, his fantasies coming to reality, I don't think he even noticed that he left that sheath. So
he got all that rage going on.
Exactly.
Adrenaline.
And like I said, I don't think the DNA on the button was from that night. I think it was when he got the weapon and he opened the knife to look at it for the first time, because that's where he would have done it, especially if he was trying to be careful. He wouldn't have thought to clean down the inside of that button. So anyway, I just wanted to call you and let you know those things. I love your show. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And thanks for all you're doing.
Yes, man. Thank you. Definitely email me. I definitely like to talk to you a little bit more. Maybe we can cover something and make put a video out about these tiebacks.
Absolutely. No problem, man.
That'd be great. God bless you, and thank you for being a voice in the community, and thank you. I really do appreciate your knowledge on this, and it kind of helps me further understand. I don't even know why I never even looked up a video, but you definitely made me go and find that. So I appreciate.
All right, you be safe and you take care too. Thanks.
God bless. I could have went and looked it up a while ago, but she actually made me want to go look it up. You know, shout out to her. Shout out to Regina too on the email. Also, I seen some stuff in there, but that's interesting. So you go through all that. Go through all that right there. Let's see. Minimize. Okay, we got that there. Boom. Shout out to her for the good phone call. Very good phone call. Very informative. Very, very informative. I appreciate her. Let's see. I'm doing call
right now, so please.
All right. Yeah. I don't want your information to get out. You know. Hold up. Boom. Go ahead. I see you all. 219-885-9693. Here we go. Flow it in. Let me get back to my screen. No. All right, here we go. 937. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, Rev. It's been a while. This is the other Aaron.
The other Aaron. What is going on? Long time no hear.
I'm still hooked on you, babe.
I see you in chat. I see you in chat.
Yeah. I was going to talk about my clean room experience. It's a different one than the video you showed.
Okay.
I sent you a picture of somebody goofing off in our gown up room, but you can get an idea of what it looks like. Our boots that we put on, they cover our shoes, and then they actually have rubber soles on them where nothing's going to leak through. The suit itself, though, that I sent in your email, it will, if you get epoxy on it, where I was working, it might seep through, but not really. And epoxy's real thick and gooey, as other things could be. But yeah, I haven't called in a while. I just didn't really have anything to say. And then
it's okay. It happens.
I see that Allen guy, and he looks like a train wreck. They should have got him a long time ago. And I don't know. I hope you look in your email at that Tyvek suit. We had white ones. We had blue ones. We had dark blue ones. I mean, you're hooded head to toe. The only thing that should be visible. They don't want any skin or hair dropped in that clean room at all. So you're supposed to wear like safety glasses and a hood and a mask. I mean, I don't think everybody
What did you send it at?
What did I, what?
You said you sent the one in the email?
Yep.
So I'm looking for it.
I just sent it.
Okay, maybe it didn't come through yet. Or let me check spam because stuff's been going to spam too. I don't know why, but no, I don't see it in there either.
Aaron, oh, I can't say it.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
But yeah, there's a whole different kinds of suits like that, and I'm still BK by himself. I think he jogged. I think he jogged that after he was done. He might have stashed all his stuff he wanted to use in that back wooded area, but I think he jogged. That's why there's no DNA in that car, if they're telling us that's the truth.
Is that kind of, and you know what, Aaron, now that you brought that up, he jogged. Is that why they are hard on for that Strava app? Right? Isn't that to track your running or whatever? I forget exactly what it was, but the Strava, or that's what it's called.
Strava.
Yeah, it's like a Strava. It keeps like it's something for athletes or runners or whatever.
Oh.
They actually put in a request for the. They got it. It's on records. I mean, they got Dylan, Bethany, Xana's, and it was in the Snapchat along with a few other which phone numbers, Snapchat, and a couple other social medias that were inside of that.
Right.
I can't remember the full document off top, but I remember them putting in and getting all the records from especially Snapchat. I know they got all those records.
Well, BK, you know, I was wavering back and forth, but now it's like, yeah, I think it's him. I really do. I think his dad might know a little bit too now. Well, obviously, they raided his house, but, you know, why write a letter to your dad? That's weird nowadays.
Yeah, I wonder what's in that letter. Is it sealed?
Yeah, maybe they'll find out. Maybe we'll find out in 7 years? When are they going to have that trial?
Speedy trial, October 2nd. I doubt it.
I know. I was just going to say, what do you want to bet? I bet you a cake.
And Nelly said if he had a suit, DM would have seen the sheet. And I seen your comment earlier too, Nelly, about we just want the right person. And obviously we want the right person.
Oh, yeah.
We're not crazy. We just want the right person. Yeah, we want the right person too, but this guy's got evidence leaning against him. So he has to, you got to see your day in court. Like, I mean, I just don't understand why people are trying to refute that this guy needs to see his day in court. Innocent, guilty, not either way. He had, there's enough there for him to see his day.
Yeah, and I know he wants to see it. That's why I think he wants to rush it too. He's like, I want to see what I did again.
Where did he hide the knife? They said.
You know, when it first started, I had a dream he threw it in the back of a black truck. But that was a dream, and you know, whatever that meant.
That'd be pretty wild.
But I also think that maybe he, in his travels after the incident, roaming around the countryside, I think he picked a spot and hit it. Well, where else?
Yeah, where else is a question? Hold up, what feeling outnumbered? Ooh.
I don't think you'd want to get rid of it. I think you'd want to save it. But that's just my opinion. I know everybody has their opinion, and he's innocent until proven guilty. But, you know, when you show that shot of him walking with the orange suit coming out of the door, there's just a look on his face. It's like emotionless, dead-eyed, you know, almost excitement to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, what is going to happen next? I know we got these new documents that came out and there's stuff sealed in it. And that's another thing that I was just thinking about. I'm like, man, they got to be protecting a witness or some type of evidence, and that's inside of that grand jury indictment that's sealed.
Oh yes, I believe so too. I believe so. They have to, because of the what's the word I'm looking for? Is the horridness of this, hideousness of this case. And I'm just seeing him. I try to picture other people, but with that time frame, that would be too many people in the house on each other. You know, he could have subdued those people, those youngsters. I don't say those people, but those innocent souls. Kaylee, Maddie, Dana, and handsome Ethan. So I think he did it out of jealousy. He had it planned for a while, and I know we've talked before, T, about we think he pulled the trigger too early on his plan.
Yeah, I definitely thought he pulled the trigger, and I called that. I remember being on before. I was like, man, I feel like he pulled the trigger on his plans early. Like, especially if you take your own vehicle to the scene and it was allegedly caught doing turns and this, that, and the third, and yeah, that doesn't make you guilty, but I mean, that DNA has to be explained, and people can't tell me that touch DNA don't mean nothing. That's how they got the Boston Strangler. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that shit. You know, how can other people have been brought to justice over that, but we can just throw out that on Brian Kohlberger? I mean, come on. Like, stop making excuses for certain people.
This whole case is it is a roller coaster, and I think he's somewhat at that steering wheel. And that scares me. But I don't know anything about his dream team. I don't know anything about that. I know he gives his little attorney lady little weird looks that make me want to throw up.
I don't think that's a dream team. People are hyping Ann Taylor and putting her on a pedestal. I honestly, I would not be surprised if he fires her and actually brings in a team that's actual high profile attorneys that they fight, because that's what ends up happening in these cases. People take them pro bono for the fact that they want to make a name for themselves and keep, being relevant. So I wouldn't be surprised if that ended up happening.
Yeah. So you never found that picture I sent you?
No, it didn't come through yet. Let me refresh again. Let's see. Why is it not going to spam? People go through shit flagging things you don't want to see as spam. Access anything you type. Basic precaution. You should take the. Somebody keeps mentioning a Trojan.
Trojan.
Yeah, they mentioned a Trojan in here. That's wild. You have a Trojan that keeps going to spam? Nah, I don't got no Trojan. I clean my PC out. I got what I need on here. I appreciate you calling it, Aaron. I didn't get it though. Like I didn't get what you sent for some reason. It's not in spam either.
All right, I'll try it again, Keith. Thanks for calling or picking up, and I love you, babe. Keep doing the great job you're doing.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. And I'm gonna keep looking for that. I haven't seen it. I got Regina's, but I didn't get yours. What time did you send it? Do you know what time you sent it?
Right before I called you.
Right before you called me. Okay, yeah, I definitely didn't get it. Send it again, and it should come through. Trev757psn@gmail.com.
That's right.
God bless you.
God bless you.
And lock your doors. Happy Friday, other Aaron.
You right back at you.
Thank you. Shout out to other Aaron. Beautiful person. Beautiful soul. Love it. Let's see who this is. They're calling heavy. What's up? 289, what's on your mind?
Hello?
289, what's on your mind?
Hello?
289. What's on your mind? You can hear me?
Yes, T-REV. It's Rose from Toronto.
Rose,
How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, man?
I'm really upset with the way everybody is saying it's Brian Kohlberger. They're trying to fit him into the timeline. They're trying everything to say this guy killed these people in 8 minutes. The two arresting officers are being investigated for setting up a doctor in Idaho, Dr. Moore, a chiropractor. And one of the officers who got the evidence in this case is involved in a major lawsuit. That's why Ann Taylor wants the training of these officers. Why is everybody saying it's got to be Brian Kohlberger? The guy's innocent until proven guilty.
Absolutely.
And everybody's squishing him into a category. Oh, he looks weird, this, that. What if the killers are still on the loose?
Exactly. I mean, that's a good point. But at the same time, why is his DNA at the scene? The ping's adding up there. Why? I mean, it shouldn't be. A DNA shouldn't be under the. It shouldn't be under a victim or near a victim, in my opinion.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you please shut your cell off out?
Can I please what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah, I'm just getting really upset because one of the officers that was with Officer Payne is in a major lawsuit right now for setting up a doctor.
What's his name?
Set up a doctor. Why couldn't they set up Brian Kohlberger?
What's the guy's name that you're talking
His
about?
name is Dr. Moore.
No, I mean the officer.
Oh, the officer starts with a T. Gillenberg or Gilburn?
Gilburn? Okay, I'd love to check him out. Gilburn.
Yeah, I want you to listen to Truth and Transparency and just listen to the other side of this officer that's involved in this.
I got no comment on that.
No, I know that everyone thinks on your channel that he did it.
No. It's not about who did it, but I'm good on looking at who you just talked about.
But I think you should look at some of the officers that are involved in the collecting of evidence.
Oh, I have. I found some other stuff that you haven't even mentioned yet, like with Officer Gunderson and Nunez and Nunes. I found some stuff on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just finding it because the officer that's involved in Kohlberger's case also said it's the same thing, that he saw this guy's vehicle time stamped, and it was all a lie.
Right.
And it's in court right now in Idaho.
Yeah, see, the thing is about, and if that's true, because I haven't seen anything on that, and I'll go look for myself because I would like to see that myself. Officer Moore. I want to look at that and check it out.
No. The guy that got set up by the officer, his name is Dr. Moore. He's a chiropractor from Idaho.
Moscow?
Yes, and they tried to say he killed a Dr. Drake.
Okay.
So, and he was also a chiropractor.
Right.
But the guy had an alibi. He was with the coroner
at
the time of the murder.
Brian
and
Drake?
Everything to make him fit in.
Okay.
So I think it's worth you taking a look at.
Yeah, I'll definitely gander at it. I'd love to look at it and read it for myself rather than hear it elsewhere.
Yeah, check out the Dr. Moore case. And the doctor they killed, what was his name? Drake? Dr. Drake was the one that lost his life. And Dr. Moore was the one that was charged with his murder. Same thing, vehicle, no evidence.
I mean, if you have any receipts you can send over, I'd love to check them out and pull them up and go over them and all types of stuff.
Great, I'll send them to you. Like, I just can't see a man committing a murder in 8 minutes. They squished him into a timeline. They said his vehicle was there. At first, they said it was another vehicle. Why is there no evidence in his car or his home or anywhere? Like, even if the guy wore a suit and committed the murders.
I mean, where was it said that there wasn't evidence in his car or anything like that? Who
I've
said
been
that?
watching it online in the probable cause. And
Who said that there was no evidence in his car, though? Who? I just really want to know where it says that at.
truth and transparency. Lana?
No, I don't want to talk about truth and transparency. I want to talk about where does it say in paperwork that there's no blood, DNA, none of that on any of the victims, on any of that. I want to show. I want to see factual statements where it says that in paperwork by.
I'll send them to you.
Forensics.
T-REV.
Yeah, I want to look. I want to see that.
Okay,
I really do.
To you. Like the more I hear about this case, the more confused I get. Like I would like to know if it was Brian to get him off the street.
Right.
But what if it's not? It means there's still murderers there.
Right.
Or because I believe it was more than one, personally.
Uh-huh.
But you know, I don't want to say it's Kerbaka or any of these other people. I just want to see the evidence, the actual evidence they have on this guy. Like, give me some DNA or something. And the prosecution just sat there in court, didn't do nothing. He just sat there while his female assistant did everything. Brian Thompson, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd look at documents for yourself because I've yet to see where people. I've yet to see in any document that says specifically no blood found in any of his anything. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, Ann Taylor is just trying to find out how they got a probable cause and how they got a secret grand jury. Like, what's the evidence? And I think it should be shared with the defense so she can defend him. I don't think because the guy looks a certain way, you say, oh, he's a murderer. Like, I would really like to see him locked up if he did it. But what if he did it?
Right.
That's scary. You know, you have to put yourself in that situation. And if
I know, but my thing is though, where are they gonna get? So you're gonna tell me that Idaho is gonna cross over into and go over. They're gonna cross their jurisdiction and go randomly stake out this WSU criminology student or I'm sorry, whatever teacher, whatever they want to call him, and grab his knife sheath and just take it from there and drive over to Idaho and plan it on him?
Well, why would an officer of the law set up a doctor? He was a reputable doctor. He ruined his whole career and everything.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is we're talking two different jurisdictions.
Oh, I understand that. I understand. You know, I think a different way because it's a college town. They got kids coming there. They have to feel safe. And what was Hunter doing in Ethan's bedroom? That's a new thing I heard. Was that Bethany called Hunter? So Hunter ends up in Ethan's bedroom to get the lock off the door?
Uh-huh.
Did you hear that as well?
I can hear everything I want, but that's all hearsay.
I got to see it in writing as well because there's so many rumors. That's what I need, like, you know.
Ma'am, I've heard everything from under the sun that you've probably watched on every single platform.
I watch your show all the time, and I've heard all kinds of things, even from there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I've heard all types of stuff. I've had so much stuff sent to me, and it was like, nothing had receipts to back up what was being said, so it's hard to talk about that.
I just want to know how they had a secret grand jury and why they can't share the evidence with the defense. What have they got to hide?
Witnesses? Maybe. That's my guess. So I don't want to put that out there to be a fact.
The 8-hour gap between the murders and all of that, there's just something else. Something don't smell right to me.
Uh-huh.
And I really think it's him too, but I'd hate to think it's him and it's not. You know, there's his life ruined if it's not him.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but that doesn't mean we need to go out and create suspects.
No, you're absolutely right. But if an officer from Idaho is going to lie and set up a doctor, what would stop him from setting up a student?
First of all, if what you're saying is true about this officer, which I want to do some deep diving on it.
Look it up. Yeah.
I want to do deep diving on it. Why is he? If that's the case, right? If that's right there, because this is the first I'm hearing about that officer. I know about two other officers.
About Dr. Moore?
I know about 2 other officers with a whole different case that comes out of Idaho, and I don't.
Okay.
My question to Moscow would be, why would you even have officers working who are involved in some type of, possible mishap with other different things? So why would they even be?
Yep.
Yeah, why allegedly? Exactly.
Everything's alleged till I guess we find out in court. But I don't understand how the prosecution can just sit there on their hands and not even give the guy his lawyer any defense when they're asking to kill this man. Like, where's their evidence? What did they get him on?
I mean, and also, like I said, I got to look at it because, I mean, where people are pointing at this cop, but I got to see the full factual information that is involved around it. Because just because somebody is being brought to or being sued or being anything, that doesn't mean that person is guilty either.
No, exactly. But it does put a question in one's mind about him doing a future investigation, such as, 4 people losing their lives.
Uh-huh.
And then everyone's saying, oh, Brian Kohlberger looks weird, he looks this, he looks that. Maybe he is an awkward guy. That doesn't make him a murderer, not unless we can prove he's a murderer.
Yeah, but all the evidence leads to him. And who else? Can you name somebody that the evidence leads to other than Brian Kohlberger? We got pangs.
No.
We got DNA on a knife sheath, and people want to toss that out. Touch DNA, but yet
I don't think he was alone.
The same type of DNA is banged big killers in the past. So it's like,
who was the other 3 males' DNA?
Yeah, and that's another thing that I questioned on one of my panels when I read the defensive documents. But then the prosecution said, "Hold my beer. We're going for the death penalty." So I never really even heard you know what I mean. So for all we know, they got those DNA's profiles. I have no idea. I'm kind of lost in the case when it comes to the DNA's and this person and that person. All I know is that they said, "Hold my beer" on Monday. That's all I know.
Well, I just hope he is the right guy and they got it right. But I thought it was him all along till just lately when I got to thinking, killing 4 people in 8 minutes. You want his car here, you want his car there.
Right.
There's no blood evidence in his car. Well, okay, I don't care if you have a bodysuit. There's got to be some kind of more DNA. Brutal crime.
No doubt, and that'll come out, but all that shit's sealed up right now. We don't know that.
Yeah, I know. So I'm going to send you, excuse me, all the documents I have and everything that I have found out, and then maybe you could take a look at it.
No doubt. Definitely send it to me. I want to look at all of it. I'm definitely interested in reading all of that. I want to see what's going on with that particular case, what accusations were made. Etc. I want to say, I definitely like to look at it.
Exactly. And thank you, T-REV.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. I appreciate you bringing diversity.
Okay, and God bless you.
God bless you, man. Also, lock your doors, stay safe, happy Friday, and God bless your family.
Too. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Bye to you. God bless her. Open minds. If we all thought alike, I disagree respectfully because it's like you gotta fact check this stuff. Just because some channel said, this, that, and the third doesn't mean you believe it, right? I mean, I get it. People are pointing at corruption, but where is this corruption? I've yet to been shown any corruption into this particular case yet. I've been shown about some officers and seen about some officers, but other than that, I haven't seen anything else other than that.
Hello.
Pittsburgh. One time for you.
What's
going on?
I've been listening and I've been going over, like, I remember when I don't know why I just automatically assumed everybody had heard about the TIVAC suit because I used to wear when I was doing asbestos. So I really liked her, that caller's input.
Uh-huh.
But back to this case. So while she was talking, I was reading up on the case, and it says thing about what she was saying. What they're saying is they received a false confession that he had asked for his attorney, and the attorney, like he asked for an attorney. They left him in there for about 45 minutes, came back and continued the interview, and the man had asked for an attorney several times. So the lawyer, his lawyer, when they went to court, had brought that up, and she was she had a like, what does it go against? She went against the pretrial, and that's where it all came out, and so they ended up having to let him go. But it was for a false confession.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it in your email, but I just wanted to let you know that it just upsets me when someone tries to change the story from what it really is and then put it out in their world as if it's one way, but it's a false confession. We don't know nothing. If Brian did confess, we have no evidence of that. So all of that is just it's a mix up. Again, like I said, getting the truth and twisting it. And I just wanted to put that out there. And then keep hearing about this DNA and why isn't it in the car, and why. I never thought that they would find any DNA in any of Brian's places. I didn't, because it happened in Murdaugh, and Murdaugh didn't wear any suit or anything. He rinsed off and he was gone. But it was proven that he did do the killing. But he had a car, he had his mother's house, like that. He went all over the place, and he left no DNA. He left no evidence of the crime. There was, of course, touch DNA around because, you know, they were married and it was family. But like as far as blood evidence or anything like that, it wasn't in his house. It wasn't in his car. It wasn't in his wife's car. It wasn't in his mother's house. It was nowhere to be found. Like, people don't remember other cases. Like, Idaho isn't the only case we've ever watched or ever seen or ever heard of. And there was absolutely no DNA. There was absolutely nothing connecting him except for that recording that his son did to send the dog video to his friend. And that's it. Other than that, Murdaugh will be off too. It's insane to me that people don't give the court an opportunity. I'm not saying that Brian is absolutely guilty. I lean towards guilt. But we gotta give the court its opportunity to present, because the prosecution is not giving up their evidence, and especially not to us. Now, the defense will get it eventually, but they will be missing the bombshell evidence, because that's just how the prosecution is. It's like, shut up, everybody be quiet, nobody look, nobody see, wait till we get in court, which isn't always wise, but it is what happens. And we just have to have some patience and understand. If Brian is truly innocent, we will all know. This is 2023. We do not send innocent people to jail on purpose. That is not the goal. The goal is justice for all 4 of those victims.
And people got that misconstrued. They just think that we're gonna hop on some bus and then let people get bullshit past us, as if we're gonna not sniff out the bullshit if it comes across.
Absolutely. As soon as I said, what doctor? What's the other doctor's name? Okay. All I had to do was pull up both doctors in Idaho, and boom, slap, there it was. False. It was a false. I read through the whole thing. It's a false confession, or so they say, because the family is still suing that doctor. Wow, as of 2021. So it might not be that he's so innocent as to say he did ask for an attorney and they didn't give it to him and he got off, but he may have just done that.
You know, I want to say something. You know what's so scary is that in the position my channel's in, I could put out a message that could sway hundreds of people and make them go to these other channels and say, I heard that so-and-so stabbed so-and-so with the so-and-so over here. And you know what I mean? And they go with it as fact. And it's like, Come on, you gotta dig a little
You
deeper
gotta
here.
read. You gotta do it. You gotta research everything being told to you. Pull it up. Don't let nobody on a channel show you some paperwork and pretend like that's what it is. No, you get up and you look for that paperwork and you pull it, whatever you, because if a creator can pull it, anybody else can pull it. Don't be lazy. Do your research. Understand that people are absolutely right. There are 4 victims involved, and we have to do the research to make sure that we're not sending Brian down the hill and leaving a murderer out there, or that we're not freeing Brian up to do more murder and then we'll catch him. No.
Yeah.
Let's look at the evidence, and the evidence is building and building and building against him. And like I say all the time, family no family. And I heard that other family members believe that he did it, but I will say that I do believe that his sister was not playing. He believes he did that, and she got away from them all. Like, listen, I don't want to hear it. I'm telling you, he's jacked up, and I can't go against family. If like, this is Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, it isn't that your family will throw you under the bus, but when they know that you did something, 9 times out of 10, they're not backing you up. This ain't California, Florida, somewhere else. No, because the family is already upset that you even had the audacity to go out here and go kill somebody. And I'm just saying.
This shit's crazy. That's why I try to make sure I say anything that I'm speculating on, so nobody could ever go back and be like, well, you put it out as fact. Because I do speculate on things, but I could say something and not say speculation. The next thing you know, my words are twisted into where T-REV said, and it's a fact. We just gotta be more responsible with the information that I put out, and if I do make an assumption, I'm gonna say that. If I do make an opinion that's not fact, I want to make sure I put that out to everybody as a disclaimer.
And you do. You do an awesome job of it. That's why I'm dedicated to coming to this channel. That's right, T-REV gang, cult, whatever you want to call it. Here I am. Some of these people, they put out the wildest information and talk crazy to you while they putting out the wild information, and all you're trying to do is just like, I'm willing to listen to the other side, but you have to be able to. But don't come at me like this is an argument or in this fight stance because I believe he's guilty. No, come at me with some true, straight up facts, off the paperwork, off the news articles. You can even use the news articles. I don't care. Let me know it's a news article though, and then just put it out there, and we can. Because I'm willing to be pushed to the other side. Because I don't want to see nobody die. I don't want to see nobody all jacked up, especially if they're innocent. But I'm sorry. Right now, you can't. I have yet to see where he's not guilty. And one more thing I did want to say. I keep people always keep saying we need to stick to the Constitution about innocent until guilty. That is not in the Constitution. That is not what it says. It does not say innocent until proven guilty. So don't call out the Constitution. That's a part. That's like it's an excerpt that I want to say a judge or someone had put out innocent until proven guilty because they didn't like all of the witch hunts or whatever. So they put that out, but that's not a part of the Constitution, people. It's prove to me you innocent and show me that you at least weren't there, or show me something so I can start questioning why I even felt like you were guilty. So don't lean on the Constitution for that, because that's not a part of our country's MO. I'm just saying. It's definitely not in the Constitution.
I see some people. There's a lot of people hidden in here. The hell is going on? Yeah, I don't know. This shit's wild. No, I say it over and over. It sounds like a repeating record, but it is. This shit is wild. That I'm actually upset for people that believe the things that they hear rather than go and read the document for themselves. That's why I encourage everybody to get a copy or to get a copy of the documents that always come out. Go over them for yourself.
You got to. You have to. Because you don't know who's going to twist the truth. You don't know. This is something that I learned way back when I first started paying attention to any kind of quote unquote true crime with the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It's just, you sit there, you hear something, you assume that what you heard is for real. And I believe that Johnny Depp was just this jacked up person forever, never looked at any evidence, never heard anything. Then I started digging and looking and paying attention and was like, oh my God, we are darn near killing someone for no reason when he's the abused person. Oh, why would you say that? She said I wasn't hitting you. I wasn't punching you. Like, that right there made me think. But bringing it up to this case, it's really, really important that we really take a look at the facts. Look at several different articles. Read the PCA. Read it. Just read it, and don't let anybody that likes to play with words play with you. You know, like, I was a big person. I knew that I could argue with people if I stuck to how they said something. Even if I knew what they were saying or understood it on one level, I also knew that if I pinpoint on this word and just say, well, why would they say this? Like this? Because this doesn't really mean this. It means that. No, you can't. Don't do that, because a lot of people have a lot of different languages, quote unquote languages, going across the United States. Here in Pennsylvania, we say yins. Anybody say yins besides us? Nope. But if you heard it, you might decide that, oh, she's speaking gang language, not even realizing that that's a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania yinzer issue. It has nothing, it means you, right? But there's different languages in every sect of the country besides what's outside the world. And knowing that, you know that we're not from Idaho. We don't know how they say what they say in these different PCAs. Just read it for what it is. If you don't understand it, ask for an explanation. But at the same time, don't key in on that. Key in on what is the whole sentence actually saying. Because if it's saying that, then it's saying that. And don't add to it. Because I read other PCAs coming out of Moscow, Idaho, one-pagers, 3 little lines, and that's it to the PCA. We get a PCA with 13 different pages with all of this stuff to say because they knew that the gag order was coming, and everybody's like triggered and going crazy all throughout this PCA, but only pulling out certain things and not allowing anybody to pay attention. Read that PCA. Just read the whole thing. Just read all the documents. Just read it. Just read it. Yes, he does have some points in court for what's going on. He does. And I'm listening to it. But I also listen to the other side. And the other side says a whole lot more than his side is saying. And I'm still waiting for the alibi. And I don't care what nobody say. They put that death penalty out real quick. I'd have put an alibi out right behind it if I was actually innocent. If I was innocent, we wouldn't be, oh, I need some more time to put out the alibi. Oh, I need a little bit more. Okay, well, we're going to give you the death penalty. Okay, but I still need just a little bit more time to come up with what I could have been doing at the time of these murders. And stop saying something about it where we're saying that his phone pinged here, there, and everywhere. Because I don't believe it did. I think it pinged when he left the house, and it pinged when he got back to near the house. All that other pingy stuff has a lot more to do with his car and them catching him on video in certain places. Like, we just gotta wait. It's coming, and it's all. And I'm dying to find out what Exhibit A is. If they say Exhibit A steals one more time, I'm gonna go through the roof. I want to see what's in Exhibit A.
What kind of smoke is going on in the chat right now? Did I miss something? The bashing what? Who's bashing who and what's going on? What the fuck? Let me make this clear.
What's going on?
I have no idea. I just seen a couple comments saying creator bashing and mods are tripping and all different types of shit. So maybe I just need to leave this sitting on the screen for a second so people understand what kind of smoke show is going on in the chat. Let me see. Hold up. This right here. Let me leave it right there then. I'll leave it right there for a while so people can read it and know what's up. Do not disrespect callers. Trollers equal hidden. No spamming. No self-promotion. We don't care who's live right now. No mentioning other creators. Have a respectful conversation. Now, this is how we got to leave it. Simple as that. Simple as that. And that's the reason why I did it in the first place. I took away that. Just was like, all right, I notice people want to say this, that, and the third, but then it ended up coming back into let's just get to bashing and going and beefing and this, that, and the third. So I had to bring it back. So I'm gonna leave it right there, so people know. I don't know who's. I see people making or they're saying shit about creator bashing going on in the chat. This, that, and the third. We don't do it. Leave it alone. We know.
Yeah.
You know, I know who don't like who and don't do what. Let's talk about the case.
Indeed. I don't really want to talk about other creators. Like,
yeah, I don't either. That's what
we do. Like, that's just I'm so over the creators of creators. Like, I think that like the only one I hear from the other side, I might listen to one channel and I don't listen. I'm done talking to them. I'm done hitting other people's channels just to hear what they're saying. I don't care. I don't care what you're saying anymore.
The channels that I listen to, a lot of you guys don't even probably know of. Like a lot of channels that I listen to, they're defense attorneys and all different. I watch different types of channels that a lot of people that I guarantee don't.
Right. I like to watch the lawyers. Like, I'm good with the lawyer, and well, excuse me, I brought up channels.
I like Bruce Rivers. Bruce Rivers is really good, and he's a defense lawyer that doesn't like. He's a defense lawyer. He's got people exonerated. I'll go and watch him, and he's not biased about the defense, and I actually like that. The fact that he'll discuss both sides.
Right. That's what I like. That's why I like the attorneys. Like, I like EDB, Bruce Rivers, lawyer, Natalie, because Natalie's been doing the Idaho, and I didn't even realize that. But there's a whole lot of lawyers online, and I rather listen to them because they'll at least hit it with no bias. Like, I don't like bias, bias to the point of you ready to scream and jump down my neck because I believe one thing or another, or because I ask a question because I may not really know the answer to that question. I just want to know the answer, and to snap on me or anything, like, I'd rather not deal with that. But I do like the lawyers. I like the lawyers. I like the calm shows where they just go over it one time and you may not see or hear of that case on their channel again for another month or two, and then boom, they come back with all that they've gathered throughout that month and a half or so, and then I'm gonna watch it. Like, there's a few channels out like that. The other ones, these new present day, the ones that I've discovered, I just said I had to stop listening to them. I pretty much just went through my list and unsubscribed to everything and asked please don't even show it to me because I really don't care anymore.
Yeah, no doubt.
You really got to get like that. Like, it's a shame that you got to be like that because in all of the cases that I've ever listened to from Johnny Depp on, I really listen to both sides all the time. But to get screamed on, yelled at, or called a clown or anything like that, or to hear them bashing other people, you just get tired of it. So I really appreciate that you don't even want to talk about the other channels all like that. Like,
I don't even care. Like, people are gonna watch what they watch when we get off here. I don't want to hear about none of that shit. If I end up, but I will have, depending on people that I mess with, I will bring them up. I'll bring them up on panel and talk to them. If I talk to them behind the scenes and we get together, like, but I just there's just certain things that I've been staying away from for reasons of people this controversy. I just don't want to be involved in that.
Exactly. No more arguing, no more fussing. This is an important case. It's close to my heart, and I'll deal with the people, the attorneys that I know, EDD, lawyer, Natalie, Bruce Rivers, all of them. They're all great to me. I like the body language. I don't like the one that's been on mainstream, but I like the little panel that they have. It's like 4 guys. I can't remember. I think it's behavioral arts or something. I watch them. Like, there's just certain things that I feel like it just stands out better to watch. You know what I mean? You can really get a better understanding of the case itself, not of Kopeka and Bumbeka and Emily and DJ. Like, I don't care about none of them people because they would have been arrested. Like, period. They would have been arrested. And that's the end of it. I don't like, and I've been in the system. So, no, I'm always willing to hear if the cops did something that could be questionable. I would like to hear if that's what's going on. But so far, just because they're not giving up the case doesn't mean they don't have a case.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
no doubt.
Until you show me a Brady situation in this case, no, or at least that means I'm going to look for it. I'm looking for everything. It isn't just because I lean towards guilt doesn't mean that I'm only looking at what behavior is guilty behavior. Forget all that. Okay, so I'm leaning towards guilt, so let me find a way to see what else could pull me back the other way. Nothing's pulling me back the other way. Not my fault.
Ain't no doubt, Pittsburgh. I'm gonna get some more people on. I appreciate you talking to me. Thank you. Always nice talking to you. I appreciate you. And speaking your mind and having a voice in the community. I'm gonna holler at you.
Absolutely, and I'm definitely listening to your tape in my car. Like, the cab be banging.
I appreciate you. Thank you
for that music. That's banging. You really are doing a good job with that too.
Thank you. Right. I appreciate it. That's the first thing I recorded in like 9 months. So,
well, it's good. It's darn good.
We recorded it live on my second channel last night. So,
I was there. I saw it. But I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, I saw the finish, and I was like, "Oh yeah!" It just came on in the cab because I I didn't open up anything until I got in the cab, and that was the first thing in the cab. I was like, "Okay, that's what's up." Yeah.
I appreciate you, High Priestess. I'm gonna holler at you. Thank you so much for calling up and sharing your thoughts and opinions with us. God bless you.
Absolutely. Thank you. I
Stay safe out there on the road too.
I know, and you keep them doors locked.
Yes, okay? Absolutely. No doubt. Later. Shout out to her. God bless. Tomorrow they will try a new rumor. Tomorrow they'll try a new rumor, they said, huh? What we got going on here?
Hello?
937, what's going on?
Hey, T, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. I gotta say
I said 937. I'm at 973. Jersey in the building.
973.
What's going on?
It's me.
Yeah, 973. I know it's you.
Yes. So I want to say something. This has been bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody mentioned this, but I'm psycho like this. The other day when his team of lawyers walked in the courtroom, and they walked in smiling with their heads up like they were walking into a friggin' beauty pageant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that pissed me. I was screaming at the I was like a psycho. I was screaming. They walked in like who the hell they thought they were. I think if that was my kids and I was in that courtroom and they walked in like that, I would have got up. I think I would have slapped their heads off their shoulders. That. I can't tell you how long that's been bothering me since I saw that night. But that's just me. I don't know. Pissed me off. I don't know if anybody else saw that.
What the whole? I mean, I get it though. At the same time, of why they walked in smiling, they're good. I mean, were they supposed to walk in defeat? I think that they already know these prosecutors. They've seen them in other cases. I feel like, and maybe they, I don't know. That's just how I felt about it. I do get what people are coming from, but at the same time, we got to realize is that. I mean, what are they going to come in and look defeated?
No,
That's
I mean, they
just
could have came in
that's
stern
me,
or
devil's
whatever, but
advocate,
I
and
thought
that's
that
my
was so
take.
disrespectful to the families. I really did. I thought it was horrible.
And I get that, but in reality, when have defenses ever cared about the families?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Just to be,
That did
and
bother
that's
me.
just my take on the defense.
I know.
In
No,
most
I
cases,
know what you're saying. No, I know. But disrespectful. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't know. Where I come from, you would have got bitch slapped. I didn't grow up in Andover, T. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, so you would have got a beating.
So you would have got a beating for that.
Oh, yeah. Even though I'm old, I could still friggin' fight.
I'm dead.
I don't know. But listen, your video was so good.
Thank you.
That song that you made. I had to call my husband at work. He works part-time because he's a retired firefighter. I had to call him, and I said, you got to get on YouTube on your phone. I said, go listen to T-REV's video. He called me back. He's like, oh, my God. He's like, what is he doing? He's like, he should be pursuing that career. So I just wanted to tell you it was awesome.
Yeah, it's something it's just a passion of mine. You know?
No, it's great.
That
You
career
should
is
pursue
dirty.
that. You really should.
That career is dirty. I'd rather be independent and do what I do now.
Really?
Yeah, love it. Love being independent by myself.
No, you're awesome. I just wanted to tell you it was a really good song.
Thank you.
So good. But that's it. I just wanted to tell you they pissed me off. But anyway.
She said they pissed me off. No doubt. I mean, a lot of people were pissed off, and I even seen it in if you go look at the what was it, Law and Order? I forget who posted it up first, but that was one of the main comments that was in there. Oh, the attorneys are, walking and smiling. It makes me disgusted. It's disrespectful to the families. And I read those comments, but I played in my head like, all right, so you got the defense versus prosecution. They're, if they walk in looking angry and just that gives anybody a reason to throw them out and say, well, he didn't have a fair trial. His attorneys already had him, guilty, and there's a bunch of things that play into that, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. I didn't really see it anywhere else. I just know that I was flipping out, screaming at the television, but I don't know. But that's it, T. I love you, and I just wanted to say that because it was driving me crazy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Love you, and
love you back.
Keep doing what you're doing, all right?
Thank you. God bless you, man. I'll talk to you again soon.
You too, T. God bless you. Love you. Bye.
Love you back. Bye. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. Man. All right. So off that. What's everybody's thoughts on Richard Allen? What's everybody's thoughts on Richard Allen off that? What's your thoughts on Richard Allen, though? Like, where does everybody stand at with that? Where does everybody stand with the Richard Allen case? So we're back to the case. I see you. And then you said, one man show is the way to go. What's everybody's thoughts on Richard Allen, though? I know we're sucked into this, into the Idaho 4 case, but I'm sucked into the Delphi case too. Very sucked into that case. Like I said, followed it from day one. You see, the music industry sadly is pure evil, so it's best to, like T-REV said, independence. So true. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think the looks between BK and AT are very enormous. They look like they are really into each other. He's dying. Oh, you think Richard Allen's dying? You think he's got cancer or something? He didn't do it alone, Allen? Mar. Wow. Interesting. Mar R says, I don't think you don't think he did it alone. So what? What do you think? Ron Logan? You think Ron Logan had a hand or Keegan Kline? The Anthony Schott shit was pretty weird with that case all the way around. Right? It was very, I don't know. In my opinion, it's. Let me pull that video up too.
It was a mystery that broke the hearts of two families.
This case right here is
terrified
crazy.
a small community and touched the world. The murders of two young girls, Abby Williams and Libby German. The case became known as the Delphi murders. The setting, a small Indiana town of just 3,000 people. From the beginning, investigators suspected it was someone local, which made it even more difficult for everyone from this small community. It started on February 13th, 2017, when Libby and Abby went hiking. The two teenagers were good friends and had the day off from school. The weather was unseasonably warm. But when Libby and Abby did not show up when they were supposed to get picked up, their families began to worry, and they began to search. Then, the next day, the bodies of these two girls were found, both victims of murder. Then over the course of the next 5+ years, there were no answers, no arrests, just a series of disjointed clues, like two sketches that looked nothing alike. A video of the suspected killer and a short audio recording of his voice.
Down the hill.
Then things got even stranger when police said they were looking for anyone connected to an Anthony Schatz social.
That case was disgusting, and actually, I don't know, man. That's just, it's just plain disgusting. Plain disgusting.
Social media account, which was not connected to the male model in the photos, but connected to this man who was arrested for child porn. Then came the arrest of Richard Allen for the murders of the girls, someone who was not on anyone's radar. Tonight, newly unsealed documents revealing information never before made public as we go in depth into the Delphi murders.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. This is going to be a show unlike any we've done in recent times, because this is a big case and we are learning information tonight that has never been made public before. Of course, it's the case of two young girls who were great friends and should be with us, Abby and Libby. Right? They are victims. And when the story first broke, one of the questions was there were two of them. So were there more than one person who was responsible for this? How did they attempt to control two girls in what happened here? And because of what these girls did, we're learning a lot more. That they were able to be controlled because the alleged killer had a gun. And these girls recorded the killer. And what's on that recording hasn't been released, but we've got descriptions tonight, new descriptions tonight of what they saw and heard on that video. And it's such a crucial piece of evidence in all of this. And you think about how smart and brave,
in my opinion,
these two girls were at that moment where they didn't know exactly what was going to happen. They knew they were in danger. And because of the actions that they took, it seems that prosecutors will be able to present evidence and attempt to convict the man they believe is responsible for all this. Speaking of that man, this is like someone that no one knew. Everyone talked about so many people connected to this case, but no one knew this guy. Who was he? Where did he come from? Well, he's from that town. And they sort of suspected that all along, right? That it was someone local because of the nature of where everything happened. But how could he just be there and like no one, not even on the radar? Although, when you look back, he should have been on the radar from the beginning of all of this. We'll deal with that as well. But tonight, it's all about these unsealed documents and records that we have, that we are going to go through with an incredible panel who knows a lot about this case. But for those of you who don't know the backstory, Matt Johnson has more for us tonight.
Best friends 14-year-old Libby German and 13-year-old Abby Williams were dropped off for a walk at the Monon High Bridge Trail in Delphi, Indiana, and were never seen alive again.
They got out of my car,
I made sure they both had sweatshirts, and I told them goodbye. I told Libby I loved her. They walked out, and that was the last time I saw them.
They never showed up to be picked up, and the next day, February 14th, 2017, search volunteers found the girls' bodies in the woods. The mystery of the so-called Delphi murders was a big story across the country, and investigators revealed very few clues, including possible suspect sketches and parts of a recording found on Libby's cell phone. Nearly 6 years had passed with no real leads. Then, in October of 2022, a break in the case, an arrest.
Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step. But leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation.
Police revealed their suspect had been living in plain sight all along. Richard Allen was a local husband and father, working as a farm tech in the town's CVS.
Now we have a person charged with it, right? We have a face, we have a name.
What would you say to Libby after you guys finally got this guy behind bars?
Oh, I believe that she helped lead them. I believe that she was steering all along. And I believe she's up there quite excited.
According to the probable cause affidavit, Allen placed himself on the trail when interviewed by police in 2017 and admitted to seeing the girls there. Police say an unspent round found near the girls' bodies went through a gun that belonged to Allen. And a witness allegedly placed a man who looked like Allen walking near the trail wearing muddy and bloody clothes.
It's scary just knowing that he was so close, and we had no idea.
Richard Allen has pleaded not guilty and denies any involvement in the murders of Libby and Abby.
Okay, let's bring in our guests who are going to help us break down these new.
6 years walking free. Allegedly gave or printed out the missing. What was it? Or printed out the photos of them, etc. for the families. I don't know. Richard Allen's disgusting to me, and I do think he is the guy. Innocent until proven guilty. Blah blah blah. Allegedly, I think he's the guy. You could say there's more to it all you want. This dude confessed on the phone, and I don't think it was under no mental or circumstances either. Got to look up the Danny Rollins case. The Danny Rollins case. That girl was smart. Thank you for being here with us today. Happy birthday, Detective Juan Don. You have to keep in mind he admitted there that the day at some point before the public knew. Haven't really followed this case fully. Followed it from day one. Justice for Abby, Libby, Kaylee, Xana, Maddie, Ethan. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can plead not guilty till the cows come home. Doesn't matter. That's a fact. Well, let's see. Hold up. He is getting death threats in prison, and that's why he finally confessed. I think he is getting death threats in prison, and that's why he finally confessed. You think he was coerced into confessing? I don't know if I can stomach this. Well, I just got a phone call. I actually got to go take care of something. Something very important, so I'm going to have to get off of here. But I'm going to holler at you guys, and I appreciate you guys for being here. What time is it? I got to be ready by 2:45. It's 2:18 my time right now, so I'll holler at you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I'm about to roll out of here, though. Important. Got to go take care of this. But yeah, we'll leave it at this, you know? We'll leave it at this. This is how we gonna do it. We'll leave it at this, and I'm out.
I count my blessings for the days when I was down and losing faith. They made me patient. All I can say is thank you. I really wouldn't be the same if I ain't gone through all the pain. Look what it made me. All I can say is thank you.
It wouldn't be the same with none of y'all by my side. You hold me down every day and it makes me strive. I wake up and look forward to doing these lives. A lot of y'all really came and opened up my eyes, and I hope I gave it back because it comes with yours. No matter what they say, I know I opened up them doors. I brought a family together even though shit was rough. They tried to shut us down, but we really shut them up. No matter what, we stand together when shit gets tough. I want to thank everyone for showing me love. The Rev Gang family is something I cherish and love, and I'll smack anyone for fucking with us.
Blessings for the days when I was down and losing faith. They made me patient. All I can say is thank you. I really wouldn't be the same if I ain't gone through all the pain. Look what it made me. All I can say is thank you.
No one give a voice to the voiceless. People get killed for other stupid choices. Standing up for the families that took a loss is something that we find important. Rap gang strong, chest up. Little homie, keep your head up. You can be whatever you want. Get rid of the fake and it will let up. All my life I strive for greatness. I'm manifesting my time with patience. People trying to copy us, but respect is earned. It's not an obligation. I love the fam and they love me back, and that's why I always have it back. So I give a voice to those people who were never given a chance for them slimy cats. When you come here, you ain't a number to me. I really take time to read what I see. Don't forget to lock your doors, cause there's danger all up in these streets. Y'all really put life into the air that I breathe. I really am thankful for all of my peeps. Your loyalty means a lot to me, so this is a special thank you from me.
Blessings for the days when I was down and losing faith. They made me patient. All I can say is thank you. I really wouldn't be the same if I ain't gone through all the pain. Look what it made me. All I can say is thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Spin it one more time before I roll out of here. Maybe this quality's better too.
I count my blessings for the days when I was down and losing faith. They made me patient. All I can say